within a room I can do. Brighter day for me and you. The best part of waking up is in your cup.
I used to singing, baby. Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you
good if you know me.
come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you sing about a melody? Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you
You good if you know me.
come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you anything you want to sing about? Just sing it all out now, sing it all out.
Selektah.
Let the world know what life's all about. Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't you
All right, we're almost at the finish line, so to speak. So, so let's see if we can keep pace. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the newsroom, and welcome to the Galtopia News Network, your unreliable source for DSP News. This is the pseudo Snort Report. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. We are at video 3 of this 4-video endeavor. But I believe it's worthwhile. There were some things that needed to be pointed out, and I thought it was a good play. Just in case you guys just need a small refresher course, I can do that. So the last 2 videos that have come out, or at least should have, at least at the point that I'm recording this, should have been going over Vestibule 3.0, parts 1 and 2. Now that that's over, there are 2 other parts. I'm not going to go over that shit. I'm not going to waste your guys' time. Given the fact that I probably waste a lot of you guys' time already, but we're not gonna worry about that. We're just gonna go ahead and scrap those, let that go to the ether. The next 2 videos, this one and then the one that's gonna follow it, we're gonna go over the aftermath. We're gonna go over the pre-streams for, well, at least today, will be the pre-stream for July 25th, 2020. How yesterday affected me, and then it just has long. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, the feedback of the Vestibule or Vest Celebration 3.0 didn't work out well. There was a lot of pushback. There was a lot of people upset. So much so that Phil has dedicated his next 2 pre-streams, the 25th, which is the one we're going over now, July 25th, and July 26th, pre-streams respectfully, to addressing it. So this is going to be great. This is going to be great, hopefully. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to jump into the first pre-stream, get this knocked out, and then I'll record the second one, and then that's that, end game. By then, his new Vest celebration for 250, the 250th Vest Streak, should be out. Depending on how many videos are in that, I may do them, depending on what comes out of that, if it's worthwhile and whatnot, and then we get right back to the Snort Reports, 2 Snort Reports a day, and then and get finished catching back up, because I was making pretty good pace with August. Excuse me, and I'd like to try to finish the month strong, at least as best as I can. Excuse me, at least as best as possible. So let's go ahead and try to get into that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I won't hold you guys any longer. Let's just go ahead and get into the video, and I'll see you guys literally in just a second. Oh boy.
I used to singing, baby. Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't
You
you come
good if
around?
you know me.
Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you sing about a melody? Oh, come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you come around? Why don't
You
you come
good if
around?
you know me.
Come around, why don't you come around? Why don't you anything you want to sing about? Just sing it all out now, sing it all out. Let the world know what life's all about. Come
Morning,
around,
everybody. How you doing? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the weekend, and welcome to the stream. I am DSP, and I welcome you here to the stream. How's it going? Today is Saturday, the 25th of July, 2020.
Oh, you damn right. Now, for some of you guys, excuse me, you guys might not have seen a pre-stream in a while. So the next 2 videos may give you an idea, and hopefully gives you guys a taste, only a taste, because it's going to be extremely salty, by the way, on how the pignosis works in the morning. How he actually induces the pignosis on people. It's going to be interesting, so strap in. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with DSPGaming. Pre-stream July 25th of 2020. Yesterday affected me. Long. Oh shit. Now remember, this is coming off of Vest Celebration 3.0, which consisted of, actually here, let me go ahead and do that because I've already gone over those videos anyway. Part 1, there was 4 parts on YouTube, but part 1, which I went over, was update on me and ideas for stream improvements moving forward. And then the second part, which I also went over, was gaming schedule update for the rest of 2020. Everything else I just didn't feel that was worthwhile, or I didn't feel the need to go over it, so I didn't do it. I think it was like a Jasper segment, and I think there was like a DSP tries it segment, and some failed attempt at a thank you. And apparently the trolling came in fast and furious because he really didn't do much. It was a carbon copy of the previous Vest Celebration. But apparently that shit really ain't chapped Phil's ass. So let's go ahead and see what the King of Snorts has to say about it, shall we? Here we go.
Let's talk a bit. Let's chat it up, shall we? Let me let you know what's going on. First of all, the 200 Vest spectacular celebration yesterday. I hope you guys who were here live enjoyed it. I hope you haven't yet, you will go check it out on demand on YouTube. First of all, the non-DSP Tries It content is on DSPGaming, including me giving you guys an update on what's going on with me in my personal life, but also the future of the streams and some of the plans that I actually have to improve these streams in the future, as long as things keep going as well as they've been going. You know, a few concrete
and that's the
plans
lore. And we talked about this in those previous videos. That essentially he's never going to go follow through with it. He puts it out there to basically keep the money coming in. The same thing he did with Patreon all those years ago. Same concept. You know what I mean? He could have bought that new microphone, that mic stand, excuse me, the soundproofing, and whatever else that he used Patreon money for. He could have used his money to do that. He didn't. He chose to use Patreon money, and even then, he didn't use all of it. Like, you're talking about, he pocketed the majority of that money. There are old detractor videos from back in the day that talk about that shit. That Phil Lane sat there and pocketed the large majority of all that. So that's something you guys can look out for, or we'll go over it on the Fight Club channel eventually. But that's what that came down to. This right here is no different. At the end of the day, he's trying to, he's at, what, 25K at the point that I'm recording this. He's already at 25,000. This idiot he's already looking at 50, 75,000. He's already looking that far ahead. Certainly, he thinks the end of the, first, he needs to be worried about if he can get through the end of the year, let alone getting into the middle end of next year. He could potentially get $100,000 out this scam if he can keep it going. So, riddle me this, ladies and gentlemen. What do you think Phil's going to do if he gets to, let's say, 70,000 and then the Vest streak dies out? The Vest streak ends. Do you really think he's going to make stream improvements then? He's more than likely not going to do stream improvements up till that point because his money's all wrapped up. Because he has other things he needs to take care of. So if they get him $70,000, that should be more than enough to at the very least, get a new laptop in there. Definitely get a new desktop. Go ahead and get other small peripherals, and then he can work off whatever existing equipment he has. But then again, ladies and gentlemen, as we spoke about in one of the last 2 videos, he wants a whole new setup from the ground up. He's legit, chasing the Joneses, and he wants he hasn't said this yet, but he wants the most high-end laptop he can get. He's not going to do any research, by the way. He's expecting other people to do that for him. The most high-end desktop, he's not going to do any research on that. He wants someone else to do that for them. The best capture card, he wants all that. He wants the easiest and most expensive setup he can get his hands on. And he's not going to do a lick of research to find it. He's going to expect those other people to do it for him. The same people that are going to give him money within that group are going to be the people who are going to do the research and the due diligence to find out which setup or which stream setup. There we go. That works better. Which stream setup works. And and let me give you this now because I've been thinking about it. If he gets a whole new setup, right? That stream deck that he has already shown us that was given to him 2 years ago, Phil might be like, well, I could use that, but I already have a brand new setup, and this is 2 years old, and it's been sitting here, and I don't know if it's really going to work. I think I'm going to need another stream deck. Now, most of you would be like, that's fucking foolish. Why would he do that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, and this is something that Tevin pointed out, praise be. Phil was asked by fans, or cult members, whatever, they're all the same really, where he was asked, hey, some of your old playthroughs that are all jacked up on YouTube because Phil was in a mad dash to try to keep whatever ad revenue coming into his back catalog as possible, or any videos that have been muted or blocked worldwide or whatever the case may be, would you ever consider re-uploading some of those? Would you consider just taking the hit on it from a copyright standpoint, as long as the videos can still go up and be viewed? Phil says, oh, well, I have a bunch of hard drives where I have all that stuff backed up on, but I haven't touched any of them for years, so I don't know if any of them will work. Now, this is how Phil's recording was back in the day. This is how he used to pretty much do everything. So he records all his videos, posts them on YouTube, posts them to the hard drive, uploads them to YouTube, and then he's done. He doesn't do anything else with those hard drives outside of that. They merely just hold on to all of his game footage. Once it's full, once that hard drive is completely full, buys another one, buys another one, buys another one. He still does that to this day. So we're talking about someone who has easily over 12 plus years of video game footage on God knows how many hard drives. This idiot doesn't believe any of them work, and he's not willing to try to see if any of them work. So basically, whatever playthrough that he may or may not have done in the past, if it's not on YouTube or if it's all messed up on YouTube where it's almost unwatchable, it is what it is. You're just gonna have to live with that. He's not gonna waste his time going to look and find out what hard drive it's on, then find out if the hard drive works, and then go through the trouble of re-uploading it. He's not willing to do that for them. He wants $25,000, or sorry, well, he's already got that, or he's almost there anyway. I would assume by now he already has it. He wants $25,000 plus from these people. He wants the continuation of the vest streak, which is pretty much the biggest fucking cash cow he's ever received, basically. So he wants that to keep going, but he won't go back and re-upload stuff for his fan base, for his audience, on his archive channel, which he's still collecting money on, by the way, on his archive channel for fan service. He's not willing to do that. So just to give you an idea, give you the mindset of where this idiot's at. So anything that's probably been donated to him over the last 2 years that would go towards streaming, he's going to disregard all that. He wants something brand spanking new. Or knowing Phil, he's going to want 2 stream decks. The one that was donated 2 years ago, that one can be for the laptop. And then he wants a whole nother one over there for his desktop. And if he gets a brand new desktop, I would expect him to want 2 different mics, which might be interesting because if he forgets that one's still on, oh no, that could be funny. But that's what he's shooting for. He's shooting for a whole new setup. A whole new setup. He's not going to sit there and take his time and gather everything piece by piece, or, as what seems more realistic, have these people go ahead and gather all those pieces for him piece by piece. He wants just a brand new setup altogether. End of story. It's really sad, to be honest with you. It's really sad that a 38-year-old who has no interest in technology outside of profiting off of it would sit there and legit convince the disabled and a bunch of man children and a bunch of children also to go ahead and give him money for the betterment of not only his life and the continuation of his existence, but also for the improvement of his streams. But in actuality, he's going to pocket that money anyway. The reason why that is because with Phil Burnell, as all of you guys know, there's always some dilemma. There's always some new crisis. There's always a need for money. So why do you think he'll ever reinvest into anything? He can't even invest in himself. He won't even invest in himself.
By the end of the year, maybe. We'll see. But in addition to that, we had a fun gaming schedule update where I went through the game schedule for the rest of the year and let you guys know what games I'm interested in particular. It looks like September, October, and November are going to be ridiculously busy for game releases, as usual. Which is actually good because at first it didn't look like that. Right? At first it looked like maybe there'd be nothing, but now the game schedule is populating quite nicely for us. In addition, Jasper was here, had some fun with him. And
okay, gaming schedule. So he's basically put out the edict that if things keep going the way they're going, positively, of course, DS positive, that he would be able to afford the new consoles. Then he goes ahead and starts the circle, as I like to call it. The gout, doubt, and snout. It's really a triangle, but we can use the circle premise in this one. He goes through the premise of the, as I like to call like I said, the gout, doubt, and snout, but this is more of a scam circle, if you will, where if things go well, then I can buy the consoles. Then he curves it to, well, you know, if anybody wanted to purchase it for me, that would be great. That would be super duper helpful. Then again, there's only going to be limited consoles. I don't know if you guys are going to actually be able to reserve one or more consoles for yourselves as well as for me. That might take some issue. I don't know. I'm not sure. He's throwing out these different scenarios and really doesn't know what he's talking about, or has read a little bit on Twitter and is trying to run with it, so on and so forth. So we went from, if things are going positive, I can afford the new consoles, to now, if you guys wanted to be generous and buy me the new consoles, that'd be great, but what are you guys going to do for yourselves? Trying to act like he gives a shit about them when he really don't, because he already threw out the same narrative that, oh, well, a lot of people come to me to get my advice, to get my input on what the new consoles are, because he's going to do the unboxing. He's going to go through and show you guys what the dashboard looks like, what the interface looks like, and everything like that, and give you his honest opinion, if you will. And that's how they'll base their decisions on anything about anything. So purchasing it for him, so he flips it, so he turns it into, oh, well, you purchasing the console for me or consoles for me would actually be a good investment for you, because now you get to see exactly how it works and what my thoughts are of it. Then we get into the final turn of the circle to, well, you know, because things might be in limited quantity and maybe you guys could order it for me, but there's no guarantee that you could get it sent to me, and I would need it like literally on launch day. And so the innuendo is, well, maybe you guys should send separate money, separate funds from the Vescol, send separate funds to him so he can pre-order it and he can make sure he has it on game day or launch day. Sorry. So that's essentially how the circle works. So I can afford it. Well, you guys can buy it and send it to me, and have it sent to me, I should say. You guys should give me the money separately so I can pre-order it and I can have it. I can have it on launch day. And at the end of the day, he's the one who's going to end up benefiting. He's the one who's going to have high ground. But he's tried to turn the narrative to, oh, you guys will all benefit from this. Only a few of you need to make the sacrifice of purchasing these consoles for me, and I'll give you guys the information. I'll feed you guys into the experience, and then you'll know if that's the experience you really want to do or not. And then I can still cover all the new games and releases as well. So even if you decide that you don't want to get the consoles, or if you can't afford it, or if they're just not readily available, you guys can still live vicariously through me on my streams. See how that works? I know it's kind of shitty.
And then we did 2 different DSP tries-its, one of which was for the Popeyes chicken sandwich that you guys were asking me to try out all last year. Finally got a chance to try it. And then the Frosty Chino at Wendy's. without spoiling, one of these DSP Trizits was very, very good, and one of them was one of the worst I've ever done. Okay? Like, no exaggeration. One was like, wow, I was surprisingly good, I loved it, and the other was, wow, I can't believe how bad this is. So, you can watch those over on the King Hate Vlogs. That's my vlogging channel. I don't really use it that much anymore, but in particular, this year, I've been doing more DSP Trizits because of these special celebrations, and that's where you can go check that out, okay?
Which is actually kind of fucked up, too, now that I think about it. One, he should have just went ahead and had a snorted chino from SnortBucks. Or he could have tried one of our mini chinos at Tim Snorton's. But whatever, you know, it's not like he knows what good quality is anyway, right? Right. One of the major things that I found that is rather egregious over him starting DSP Trizits is the fact that he's being paid $5,000 for each DSP Trizit he does, if you think about it. People have asked for DSP Trizit to be a sub-goal. Nope, can't do it, don't want to do it, those days are behind me. You know, I already have a bunch on my channel. I did it for a number of years when it was profitable, and I was okay with doing it, but now that I'm older, I'm more mature. When I buy a meal, I want to just sit down and eat it. I don't want to go through the trouble of recording it and then having to talk, and then I'm eating cold food. I don't want to do that anymore. So people ask for that to be a sub-goal. People asked for that to be a Patreon goal back in the day. People asked for that to be a tip goal. Same bullshit excuses. All that crap. $5,000 is raised. They decided to do a vest celebration. Now we're okay with doing DSP Trizits. Now we're willing to do, as he likes to call it, double episodes of DSP Trizit, which usually are a food item or two food items, and then usually some type of specialty beverage. But it took $5,000 to make that happen. Not the $1,000 or $1,000+ that would come from a sub goal. Not the $100 or $200 or whatever the goal that they were trying to ask for back then, when it was just known as sub goals, or not sub goals, as tip goals, before they morphed into the amalgamation of fucking deceit, gout, and greed that we have now, known as the vest goal. That wasn't good enough either. I need $5,000 to do a DSP Trizit. I'll sit there and feed the gout, as I like to call it. I'll feed the gout if you guys give me $5,000. That's really fucking shitty. But he's doing it. And he's doing it without any qualms. Spent years shitting on DSP Trizit, saying that it was fan service. He's not going to do it anymore. He eats healthy. Him and Kat aren't all about that life, despite the fact that Kat really likes her Taco Bell, which is nothing wrong with that. And she does like that Chinese place that's around the corner. I don't know if the food is good or not, but, you know, it is what it is. But now we're willing to fully embrace that situation, especially when, for at least most of those DSP Trizits, he doesn't have to go out and get it. Excuse me, he's just having Grubhub or Uber Eats or whatever bring it to him. I wonder if Monday Matt's ever going to deliver to him, because they're kind of in the similar area, I should say. I don't know what Monday Matt's ratio is, or radius is, I should say, for deliveries, but whatever. The only thing that he usually has to go out and get is the actual drink itself, the Frosty or whatever it is that he's choosing to get, whatever the drink from Starbucks he's going for, or whatever the case may be. Outside of that, he's cashing in, and he's cashing in big. So just something to think about when it comes to that as well.
So, it was a good show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Some people did, some people didn't, alright? And something I want to address today, because I want to make something clear about myself and the content that I put out there, and how it affects me, the way that people react sometimes to my content and my streams, because I really do feel that yesterday, I came into my streams with the best of intentions and a very positive attitude. In fact, I was very excited yesterday to be celebrating a 200 vest celebration. That's a milestone. It's a huge milestone. I never suspected we'd hit 100, and here we are celebrating 200. You know, and some people liked it and some people didn't, and it's one thing to criticize, and it's another thing to just be like such a negative influence, you know. I think particularly what it was that people really wanted to see something big, and I don't know what you were expecting. Like, I don't know what exactly people were wondering was going to happen on this celebration, What I really wanted to do was I wanted to learn from the 150 vest celebration last month, because you guys basically told me last month it wasn't as good as the first one, that you wanted me to kind of go back to the way I did the first one, where I had new vest reveals and, you know, concrete stuff that we did together that was like interesting information about the future. So that's what I tried to do.
Interesting information about the future that still hasn't happened yet, because he still hasn't made the money necessary to make that happen. So basically, Phil's trying to say that you guys wanted a pretty new vest, right? So you guys can ooh and ah to that. And for me to regurgitate future plans that may or may not even happen, just to kind of hear himself talk. And that's it. Now, I think he misinterpreted what those people said, which is obvious. And it's just being lazy. He was just being lazy about it. Oh, this was extremely positive, or I had extremely positive feedback, so we're just going to go ahead and do it again. The pushback I got the second time around, or for the 150th vest celebration, I got a little bit of pushback. Oh, I wish it was more. I bet you people said, I wish it was similar to the 100 vest celebration or whatever it was. And maybe you just did a little bit more on top of that. He just took it as, or he just saw, oh, I wish it was similar to the 100 vest celebration, and just went with that and completely disregarded everything else. And that's something that can be proven, because when he gets a troll tip, or if he gets a message that may or may not be a dig at him, and he doesn't know how to approach it, he'll only read half the message. He'll only read parts of the message that are comfortable for him to answer, and he'll completely disregard the rest. He just gives you enough to where he can put it in context the way he wants to, and the rest of the narrative is gone. He's he's not even good at it, but he does that frequently. So just something to keep in mind.
Okay. And I, in fact, just copied the event. I tried to copy the original 100 vest celebration from a couple months ago, having a tier 1 and tier 2 tips goal, and two reveals instead of one, and some positive news about the future. You know, I thought talking about the future of my streams and everything would get people excited. And it did, don't get me wrong, it did. But some people were just so negative about it, man. And, you know, I'm sorry, but I'm not that kind of a person where I'm just going to, like, sit there and not let it get to me. It does. When people are just, like, negative, it actually got to me pretty bad, to the point where it totally changed my demeanor for the rest of the day. And
now, let's go ahead and dissect this cuck. This idiot right here calls himself the king of hate. Not because he hates on other people because they're more successful, or they're more likable, or maybe just because they're just able to do things. He calls himself the king of hate, allegedly. This is his lore. He calls himself the king of hate because people hate on him. And he uses that hate, that negativity, to fuel him to do things that people say he can't do. To be his best Phil, if you will. But yet, he ain't sat there and already squeezed these guys for $20,000 at this point. Or at the point of me recording this. Or the point of this recording, I should say. Of when he recorded this. He squeezed these guys for $20K. There was a few people, maybe there's more than a few people. There's a group of people who sat there and shitted on him because he was lazy. He admitted to being lazy. Because, all he did was copy the first major vest celebration. He didn't add anything to it. He didn't try to innovate it in any type of way. He just went ahead and carbon copied it. Right? And he's mad because people called him out because he did that. Because he was lazy. And he said it affected him. And it screwed up the rest of the event. Or at least it screwed up the rest of his day. How the hell are you mad when you ain't sat there and squeezed these kids for 20 grand? What the fuck do you have to be mad about? What the fuck do you have to be off the kilter about? I'll say take your snorts and just keep it moving. I would say, take your snorts and act all the way to the bank. But, Phil don't really save money, allegedly. So, it is what it is. So, what is he upset about? And why would you let something that small bother you? People have called you a con artist. I know I have. People called you a con artist. People have called you a liar. People have called you greedy. People have called you stupid, ignorant, a bitch. People like myself, really just me, honestly, have said that your mother should have swallowed or your father's pull-out game should have been better. Jesus Christ, but you're gonna be mad, or you're gonna be upset, or you're gonna let some little shit affect you that people said you basically screwed them over, and you were being a lazy sack of shit when you admittedly were a lazy sack of shit and you basically conned them. What? How does that work? Alright, well, there you go. Fucking king of hate. Should go ahead and just take Pokemon's title, just be the new queen of bitches.
I came to the second stream, the Street Fighter stream, really feeling down. You know, and to some point you might say, well, what do you mean? Were you depressed? I mean, yeah, I was. I mean, being honest with all of you, it actually really completely changed my mood for the rest of the day, where I was going into it with a real positive attitude. And by the time that I came back for the second stream of Street Fighter, I was like, wow, people didn't like the show. People were very upset. I don't feel good about this. I think this is the end of the streak. I think the streak's going to end now. All the positivity that we've had with the vest gimmick over the past 4 months is dead. Like, seriously, in my head, I was coming back to stream with that in my head. And that's not good, you know. I know better than that. I know better than to let myself be affected by a few negative people on a stream, but it really did. It got to me. And, you know,
how is it that you know better not to let a few people negatively affect you when you're sitting here telling us that a small group of people were negatively affecting you? Like, how does that make sense? How can you say that I know better to not let this thing happen while explaining to us that this thing happened and how it's affected me? What sense does that make? If you knew better, then you do better, right? But you didn't. Hence the reason why you fucking up now. So we're already breaking our first snort commandment, if you will. What the fuck? And then more importantly than that, this goes back to something that many people are starting to tell you guys now. Is the fact that despite his greed, right? He's emotionally invested in this shit. He needs the emotional support as well as the financial support. He needs the praise. His ego outweighs profit. You know what I'm saying? You still have to understand that. I know his greed is extremely overwhelming. A lot like his snorts. But you also have to keep that in mind. He will sacrifice, not really sacrifice because theoretically he already got their money. He will negate financial support temporarily to make sure that his ego is satisfied as well. It's not just the bottomless pit, which is Phil Brunel's finances. Darkside Phil's ego needs to also be appeased. Which is crazy because he can't please any woman at all, but whatever. He wants to have some type of emotional satisfaction. Whatever. It's a thing. So you have to keep that in mind moving forward as well. It is still a thing. It very much is a thing. And keep in mind, he already had their money. So now what he wants is their praise. And he was willing to almost fuck over the rest of the vest streak to make sure he got it. That's kind of wild. And because he's not being praised the way he feels that he should, he's sitting here automatically hitting them with the doom and gloom that, oh, well, now the vest streak's going to end too. Because if you guys don't love Phil Brunel, if you guys don't praise DSP, if you guys don't uplift Darkside Phil, then anything that he does, you guys also won't support. It's also going to be disregarded. That's how he looks at this. It's a strange and very pathetic way of looking at it, and certainly, if any of you guys are following LSB and his progress with his documentary, it's very cult-like. It definitely seems that way. It's certainly manipulative, for sure. It is out-and-out manipulation. But this is what we're working with. And they've been working with this. Let's continue.
Stream, we talked for about, I'd say about a half an hour straight about the negative reaction to what happened during that 200 vest celebration and everything. And essentially there's two schools of thought. One school is that it was just criticism. And I mean, I understand that. I understand criticism. Okay, we wish that we were something better on the event or whatever. But there's a difference between, okay, you could do some better stuff. Here's some examples of things we'd like to see versus you suck, your content sucks, this is boring, you know, you don't deserve your success. And that's basically, you know, that's what happens, is like it gets so overly
First off,
overbitten.
I don't know if anybody said you don't deserve success, or if that's just something Phil's gonna insert in there to fit his own narrative. Excuse me. But any criticism that Phil Burnell has ever gotten, he's automatically spun it into the worst possible way, or has brought it to this extreme. It's something that he does frequently, to be honest with you. The act of just criticizing or critiquing him is automatically an affront to him. You know what I mean? It's already disrespectful. So, and every time when you do give him a criticism, like who's a good example? Third Out of Third is a great example of that. You have to do it in a certain type of way. You have to. He's one example of many, I should say, but you know what I mean. He is the way he words it. It's less offensive, I suppose, but yet it still gets its point across. There aren't people who have been around as long as Third Eye the Third. You don't have time to be tiptoeing around this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Not really tiptoeing. I don't mean no disrespect to Third Eye, but you don't have any time to be tiptoeing around the situation. You might as well just be blunt about it. So, hey, the event was garbage. For all the money you've made, why didn't you put any more effort or any more thought into it? What the fuck are you doing? And that's true. Whether he came up with the vest streak or the audience did is essentially incidental. You, as the entertainer, as the content creator, as the streamer, are supposed to be making this event entertaining. And celebrating you getting $20,000 is already egregious in itself. But since we're still rolling with it, you could at least put some thought into it, some real thought. And you could really have taken some time to actually make this the best event possible, especially when you want this to keep going. And that's the mark that Phil Burnell has missed. That's the reason why this exists. Yet again, it's all about worshiping him, essentially. And the money that they give is merely just tribute. But you still have to worship him. You still have to give him praise. You know what I mean? You still have to feed him emotionally while donating or paying your tithes in a more financial manner. It's really just ridiculous. And it's a level of mental gymnastics that is unnecessary. He's only making this hard on himself, and in turn, he's legit killing off the very thing he's become dependent on. Wow.
With nonsense. And, you know, I can roll with the punches to some extent. But now when there's people literally here just to shit constantly on the stream, you guys got to understand that's the difference. Okay, Phil's playing Ghost of Tsushima today. I don't personally really like that game, but I'm going to watch him play it and make it my active duty the entire stream to complain how boring it is. Well, maybe that's not the most productive use of your time. You know what I mean? Like, you got to understand that I am a content creator who does a wide variety of stuff, okay? And at any moment, you know, I could be playing a game that's a different kind of game, and I gotta adjust. It's a big adjustment, going from fighting games to an adventure game to an RPG to this to that to this to that. And I'm doing this full-time 6 days a week, okay? And then, every once in a while now, you guys want something special. Okay, Phil hit a milestone. Let's do a special event. Great. I don't have a lot of time to plan these out. I hope you guys understand that. Like, I'm still here the 6 days a week full-time putting out the content. It's not like, oh, I took a day off to plan this, right?
You're telling me that on your off time, you know, the time that you benefit, that the money that's being given to you is really going to be beneficial to you. You couldn't sit there and take a few minutes each and every night to be like, pad, piece of paper, hey, let me think about how we could do this vest celebration. You need a whole day to plan all that out? You need multiple days? When in actuality, you could just plan over multiple days, I should say. You see how he, yet again, takes the simplest act and makes it almost this Herculeic type fucking trial, if you will. Same thing with the whole, oh, I got to go from video game to video game, and that's a big adjustment for me. How? Just sit down and play. Just sit down and play. Everybody knows you're not going to be able to play it well. Everybody knows that you watch other people's gameplay so you can cheat. Just sit down and play. You going through all these extra steps is what makes the content so shit in the first place. Just shut the fuck up, sit down and play. And he's making it sound like, oh, I'm like he's an engineer going from project to project to project. He doesn't build anything. He doesn't create anything. He merely just exists. So stop acting like this is more than what it is.
Basically trying to cram stuff in between everything else that I'm doing. All right? And seriously, like, I'm really just trying to do stuff above and beyond my normal streaming stuff. I hope you guys understand that. You know, I really am doing my best. And then when finally, you know, I actually planned out this 200 vest celebration for a bit. I was like, I'm going to order multiple vests. You know, I'm going to try to do it so that I can plan some stuff for my streaming future. We can talk about it. We'll have a positive attitude about it. And by the way, this is the third vest celebration. This wasn't the first one. So it wasn't like you guys didn't know what it was going to be. We've done 2 of these before. And to see people come on the stream and literally just be like, this is boring. All he's doing is talking. What is this? It's like, dude, we've done these already. How do you come to the stream not knowing what it is yet? You know, sometimes it just blows my mind. Like,
it blows your mind that people have expectations of you. And for the amount of money that you've been given, and given the amount of time that they've contributed to this, they can't expect better of you. I want you guys to take all this in, because that's legit what he's saying. It doesn't matter how long he's been doing this, and it doesn't matter how much money you give him. Don't expect him to go out of his way to make this better. Whatever it is that he presents to you, you're just going to have to take it and deal with it. Well, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, how can any of you ever believe that he'd be willing to take off multiple days once the new PC or once the new streaming setup comes in, and him to have all that set up and have it all ready to go? And it could take him a few days to make that happen, because he's certainly not smart enough to do it on his own. What would make you think he would want to put himself through that, to be honest? Does he want a new PC? Sure. Does he want a new laptop? Sure. Does he want a new setup? Sure. But he's going to want compensation on top of the fact that he wants all of you guys to pay for it too. You see how this is going to be an issue? You see how this is going to be a problem? You see how it might start turning out that he's just going to bleed them for as long as he can? And hey guys, and there is no set goal for when he'll actually be able to get all the peripherals for his new streaming setup in the first place. It's not like it's been established, oh, at the 1,000 or 1,500 vest streak, I'll have this new streaming setup. It's not like that. He's legit treating it day by day, and he'll just milk them every fucking day. And doing it that way, it means there's no obligations. If it does fail, he's already got their cash. He's already got the money. Oh well. And then he can just shame them. Hey, I could have gotten the new PC. I could have gotten the new laptop. I could have gotten the new wireless mouse and keyboard. But you guys let the vest streak fail. That's on you guys. You know that I'm here every day streaming, and I need your support if I'm gonna do these things to upgrade the streams, to improve the streaming experience, not just for himself but for you guys. But you guys let the vest streak fail yesterday or whatever, hypothetical. And so now it is what it is. Now we can always start over, but you know, I don't have too much high hopes, so I don't want to put any future plans out there because I don't want to be disappointed. He's legit going to go that route. And why wouldn't he? World
or something from me. I don't know what you want. I'm just one guy who streams games 6 days a week. You know, works my butt off trying to put out fun content for you guys. And when I get a chance to do a special event or cram one in, that's great. But you have to understand, you're not going to get much more than that. If you do want much more than that, fair enough, but then understand that you can't get the other content. You see, it's one or the other. It's either I'm here 6 days a week full time, playing as many games as I can, putting out the interactive streams, or I take time away from that to do other stuff. I mean, you guys remember 2016 where I was
Okay,
only
let's
streaming...
shit on this turd. You got 20K, at least at this point. You've gotten $20,000. All you had to do, essentially, was to plan a party. That's it. All you had to do was plan an event, right, to celebrate this. Because his dumbass was the one who hyped it up. He's the one who hyped up the vest celebration. So theoretically, he should have had an idea of what he wanted to do. And the fact that whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, oh, I'm just going to keep regurgitating the same celebration to you because what else do you guys expect? You guys are just I mean, think about it. This whole vest celebration thing is nothing more than a celebration that you guys gave another man money. That's all you guys are doing. You guys are celebrating that you gave this individual money. It's not like you guys were contributing to something bigger. It's not like you guys were contributing to an actual charity that could actually help people, that could actually affect things and get shit done, you know? You're just paying this asshole to keep existing. And deep down, he knows that. So why would he feel the need to put effort into it? So in turn, he didn't do it. So now he's mad that they're mad that this is really just a simple transaction. So we're literally turning the vest goal, this symbol of oppression, this symbol of us rising above the detractors, trolls, haters, and critics, and everybody else who said you can't do something, that we can overcome, that we can prevail, that together we're stronger. We all snort as one, if you will. But now he's reduced it to, hey man, I'm just someone who works my ass off, and when you guys give me money, it's because you appreciate what I do. So maybe, just maybe, you guys expecting something, you guys should just be glad. You guys should be just grateful that I'm willing to even do this vest celebration. Because I don't owe you anything. I don't have time to. I got to keep working my butt off. Think about that. That's legit what he's saying. That's legit what he's telling them. He's shaming them for wanting more, for expecting more. Tell me what you guys think.
Once a day. And the second half of my day was 100% dedicated to recording, editing, and doing stuff for my channel, KO Gaming. That was a very, very different year for me, and I enjoyed doing it, but ultimately what you guys told me was to abandon YouTube and be a full-time streamer, which is what I am. And by the way, I'm not complaining. I love it. This is the best I've ever done being a content creator. I enjoy this so much. This is much better to me than anything I've done in the past. I love being a full-time interactive streamer more than ever being a YouTuber. And I've said this many times. Okay? But to me, I don't know what you guys are expecting, you know? Now, by the way, it wasn't everyone doing this. It was, I'd say, probably about a dozen people. And the sad part is that some of these are stream regulars. You know, these aren't just random people coming in here shitting. These are, you know, stream regulars coming in and saying, well, I don't like this event. Phil should have done better. It's like, well, what were you expecting? And if you want me to do better, give me constructive feedback. Don't just sit here and shit on me constantly and say, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. That's not constructive, and that's not going to make anything better, you know? So, you know, Time of Ours says, well, we expect nothing. I disagree, because if you expected nothing, you wouldn't come in here and then be so negative. Now, I'm not saying it with you. I'm saying in particular, maybe you don't expect anything, but other people obviously do, right? So for me, here's the thing. I want to be entertaining. I want to put out fun content.
Did you hear that exchange? Oh, we don't expect anything. You know, we don't expect anything at all. Oh, well, you may not, but other people do. They do expect something. Yeah, this was supposed to be a celebration, remember? So, yeah, people kind of expect you to do shit. People kind of expect you to be as invested, no pun intended, but actually I do, pun is intended. But people expect you to be as invested in this thing, in this movement, if you will, right? In this community, if you will, as they are. They were willing to put their time and money behind it, so they would expect something out of you as well. But see, that's wrong, though. You guys shouldn't do that. They shouldn't do that. They should just take what's been given to them, and that's that. End of story. Anything else, they're in the wrong, They're the problem. You brought it up. You guys know all that. You guys know what that is. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why people call him out on this bullshit. Because that's exactly what this is. Absolute grade A hog bullshit. And then the fact that he's legit shaming them for this. He is legit shaming them for expecting something. For the $20,000 that they raised for him. This is literally, ladies and gentlemen, everyday fundraising. This is everyday charity, if you will. This isn't leaving a tip because of a job well done. Continue to give me money to exist. While at the same time, it has a pseudo type or it has almost a cult-like, well, certainly cult-like, but almost a cult-like / religious-like narrative that you guys need to pay your tithes. You have to do that. And then you also have to give him praise as well. Do you guys not see how tormented he is? Do you not see him at his labors each and every day? Putting his blood, sweat, and tears into this shit? You see how hard he works? And now he has to take a day off outside of his actual day off to sit here and spend time with you guys. You would think you guys would be a little bit more grateful. That's what he's telling them. And then the few cucks in the fan base that want to come out and say, oh, well, we don't want anything from you, our Snort Lord. We don't expect anything of you. You might not, but the rest of these ingrates do. You see the situation?
You guys tell me the gameplay is the best stuff I put out. I'm playing a good game, and I'm having fun with it, and I'm having interactive streams with you guys. Or, on the flip side, the chill streams. The chill streams have grown in popularity a lot over the last year. Instead of it being focused on a new game with a narrative, instead it's just relaxing and having fun with a game that's more laid back, and we're in no rush to finish it. We're in no rush to really make progress, and it's more about the interactivity with you guys. Apparently, those streams are really good too. All right, and I get that, and I like that, and absolutely, I would like to keep that going in the future and improve in the future. But understand that when you come here on what's supposed to be a positive celebration stream, and you sit here for hours complaining that it's boring and giving me no constructive feedback and basically just saying I'm an asshole because I didn't put effort in, that actually really hurts me, because I did. I actually did. I put as much effort in as I could between everything else I was doing. You know, I think that people just expect the world. They really do. They just expect too much. You know, we'll take it.
You guys expect the world. You guys expect too much. You guys think I was being lazy, I didn't plan anything, and I did. I put the maximum amount of effort into this. Even though, ladies and gentlemen, early on in this broadcast, he told us that he copied a previous event because that was successful, so he wanted this to be successful. All he did was continue to follow a template that has already been established. But now he's telling you that I did think this through. I did plan this out as best as I could. And it's your fault that things didn't go well. It's your fault that your expectations were too high. It's your fault because you asked too much of me, knowing that I'm here every day already killing myself for you guys. You insufferable ingrates have the nerve to ask me to do more than what I'm already doing. He's a 12+ year content creator. He's giving you guys thousands upon, well, tens of thousands, I would assume, plus hours of entertainment. How dare you ask him to do more for giving him $20,000? Yikes! What a piece of shit.
Time on his day off to work on this. Wait, what? My one day off a week that I get to spend with my wife? You want me to not have any time with my wife to fucking be planning a 200 vest celebration? Like, what? Please. You gotta be more reasonable and less demanding. And I'm sorry, I've just gotta kind of be honest here and vent a little bit. People have to be more realistic at this point. That, you know, I'm a guy who already, I feel I'm not getting enough time with my family. I'm here 6 days a week full time, right? Tell me how many other people are here 6 days a week full time for as long as I have been. You know, most of these full-time content creators aren't doing this, man. They're inconsistent with their schedules. People tell me my schedule is one of the most consistent on the internet, and they appreciate that, right? So there's
it's not that their schedules are inconsistent. It's they're flexible. That's what it is. No one is trying to sit there and turn this into a rigid 9 to 5, because guess what? It turns into a fucking rigid 9 to 5, where it looks like you're just there, just to be there because it's a routine, not because you want to be there. How this idiot doesn't know that or doesn't understand that, beyond me. I can't explain that to you. But maybe that's the reason why. There's nothing inconsistent about what their schedules are. They just kind of they play it the way they want to play it. Look at Doc. Doc used to stream 5 days on Twitch. You don't do that no more. On YouTube, he kind of just streams whenever the fuck he feels like streaming. If he wants to do 3 days a week, he will. If he wants to do 4 days, he will. He realizes, as I've told you guys, less is more. At least when it comes to streaming. At least, that's my opinion. I don't stream, but less is more, to be honest. And if Phil cut his streaming down to 4 days a week, he could probably make more money. He would probably make way more money. But he won't, because he would rather go ahead and chase the dollar. And then if he comes in like a lazy fuck, those 4 days with no energy, with no enthusiasm, people are going to shit on him for it. And he knows that. So he would go ahead and just do 6 days, so he doesn't have to spend any time with Catherine. Because let's be honest, he don't want to spend any time with the potato lady. And he can keep saying, these detractors say that I don't do actual work and that I don't have anything of value. I'm here 6 days a week. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? That's you going ahead and doing quantity over quality. Well, at the end of the day, no one has to give a fuck that you're there 6 days. What is the quality of the stream? What is the quality of the content? He says he's a content creator. He says he's a streamer. So tell me what the quality is. Let me see what the quality is. Oh, there isn't any. Oh, it's just garbage. Oh, well, it's garbage because you're a hater. And I'm here 6 days a week, so you can't expect the same type of energy. Okay, well then cut your streaming down. I can't. I need to do this for a living. So you're gonna just keep putting shit out for a living. That's what you want to do. That's what the plan is. That's the business strategy. Okay, fair enough. Touche.
Trade-off with that. There's got to be a trade-off with that. You understand? If I'm going to be here consistently, I'm going to put out that content. Then I can't go outside my box too much to do other special things. You see what I'm saying? So, my point I'm making is this. Please understand that your words can have an impact. And I understand if you don't like something, that's great. For sure, share your criticism. But don't just then become a negative shitter. Because that's really what happened yesterday. It was just so many people shitting on what I'm trying to do here for something special for you guys. And it's like, okay, I get it. You don't like it. Then tell me how to improve and move on. Don't sit here for 5 hours shitting. You know, the bowl's full. All right? The bowl is full and it's clogged. I can't flush it. You know? It's like today. I know, here's what will happen. Today we're playing Ghost of Tsushima. We're going to talk about this in a moment because I really love the game. And I'll be enjoying it, having tons of fun with it, and sharing that with you and telling, wow, I really like this game. And there'll be people who will just sit here on this stream and will say, this game sucks. It's boring. I wish Phil would do something else or raise the difficulty. And it's like, so you don't want me to have fun, is what you're saying. You know? If you don't like the game I'm playing, that's fine. Tonight, I'm playing Paper Mario. Tomorrow night, I'm playing Deadly Premonition 2. Okay? Moving forward, there's going to be other games that are going to be added to the schedule. There's going to be...
But if you're going to play all of them terribly, or let's reword that. If you're going to play all those games in an unentertaining manner for the audience, not you, because remember, Phil just said, so you guys don't want me to have fun. So if you're going to play these games in an unentertaining manner, why the fuck would anybody feel the need to come back? Who gives a shit about the game? That could be one of their favorite games, but if you're playing it terribly, why would they sit through it? They could go somewhere else and watch someone actually give a fuck in doing so. They could go ahead and wait for This Is How You Don't Play and watch your garbage gameplay. Why do they need to stick around with you? He still, for whatever reason, hasn't grasped the fact that there are options. There are alternatives to his shit. And he still hasn't picked that up yet. And for that is the reason why he suffers. But he don't want to It's wild. It's wild. Coming to a stream to watch some dude mentally masturbate for from anywhere from 2 to 4 hours is not entertaining. That's why his numbers are the way they are. Yeah, he's making more money, but with less and less people. You know what I mean? Like, he's slowly but surely pouring more and more of the grease being the audience, into the toilet. You know what I mean? Eventually, there's not going to be too many people left. So this whole organic growth and, oh, I want to grow and I want to have the opportunity to entertain people like other streamers do, you're not putting no effort into it. You really don't give a shit. You just want control. And you don't even really know how to do that, or at least do it properly anyway. Wow.
Destroy All Humans remake coming up in the next couple of weeks. There's going to be 2 Viewers' Choice games that I'm going to be playing. Eventually, I am going to phase back in the chill gaming stuff. We're going to have the continuation of Fire Emblem. We're going to have Animal Crossing. We're going to have these other things return. I'm not playing the same games every day. So if you don't like the game I'm playing today, I'm sorry, obviously. I want you to like what I'm doing. But you don't have to sit here and complain constantly. You can go do something else. You know what I mean? You're not locked into having to sit here on every stream and being a negative person. And that, because it gets to me when I'm sitting here. I'm enjoying the hell out of something, which is supposed to be the point. People tell me the best way to put on an entertaining stream is to really enjoy what you're doing and share that with others and have interaction with others. Okay, so I'm having a ton of fun with a game. And then I go to the stream chat. This game's boring, play it on hard. This game's boring, play it on hard. This game's boring, play it on hard. What the fuck? If you don't like it, you don't have to be here sitting here shitting constantly. Alright? You don't. You don't have to just unload your ass on the stream constantly. There's other things you could be doing with your time that are more productive. Because it does get to me. It does. And, I don't want that. I don't want it to negatively affect myself or my streams. Because you got 12 people who like to sit here and just shit. And I'll be honest, I got contacted behind the scenes by a few people yesterday. And they were like, what happened? And it wasn't what happened, your stream sucked. It was what happened. Why were so many people being negative? This was supposed to be a celebration. And it really brought down everything that you were doing. Because these people just want to sit here and crap. I agree. So I'm sorry. But, I'm just being honest with all of you. Okay? I'm open to criticism. Please, by all means, tell me how to improve. But don't just say, it sucks,
like Phil Burnell's honest.
It sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks, it sucks. Or if I'm playing a game like Ghost of Tsushima, well, make it way more difficult so that you stop having fun. Because that's the only way we're going to have fun. Alright? Well, guess what? If that's the case, you're not here for the right reasons. I've told people this time and time again over the years. I'm not a gamer who's sitting here to punish myself constantly. I understand that there's a viewing audience that likes to just see me fail or rage or suffer. I get that. That will always be there. I play games, right? Like Dark Souls. I play games that are very difficult to me, franchises that I'm not good at, on purpose, so that that kind of content exists. Ghost of Tsushima is not meant to be Dark Souls. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this. The game was not made to be Dark Souls. So, I'm playing it at the default experience level, and I'm really enjoying it. And if you don't like that, you think it's too easy and it's not entertaining to watch me play it, then don't watch me play it. Go do something else. I will be playing many other games. In fact, right now, I'm actually having a hard time of all games with Paper Mario, because the game actually ramped up the challenge of the combat to the point where my brain is getting racked by the puzzles of how to line up the enemies and do the combos and stuff. And that's probably, if you want to see me get frustrated, that's the stream to tune into right now. Okay? Not Ghost of Tsushima. Right? So, the thing is, if that's what you're looking for, you're on the wrong set. You're in the wrong stream. If yesterday you were coming to the 200 Vest celebration expecting there was going to be some way crazy out of the way thing that I was going to do, I don't know who gave you that expectation, but I was just going along with your feedback of saying the first 100 Vest celebration was better than the 150. You wanted to see a return back to that. So I did. I actually upped the ante. I had a double reveal plan. I had a double DSP tries it. And we talked about positive stuff about how I could improve my streams in the future. And I felt that was going to be a great way to celebrate. All right? Apparently not. At least for the dozen people who sat here constantly crapping on it in the stream chat. And you got to understand that sometimes a certain small group of people can actually dominate a lot of stuff. Just because of their mentality or the way that they present themselves. Oh, this sucks.
No, it's because he allowed them to do so. At the end of the day, he's the content creator. He's the streamer. You're required to have a level of control. Pure and simple. If anybody brings you down, it's because you allowed them to bring you down. End of story. And the only reason why he felt brought down is because he knew he was ripping them off. He knew he was fucking them over. He knew he was taking advantage of them. And he was probably hoping that someone was going to come in there and defend it, and they didn't. Because it's funny how all these supporters can reach out to him behind the scenes and say, why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why are they trying to derail the streams? Why weren't they in the streams trying to actually police themselves and be like, hey, man, Phil's trying to do the best he can. Hey, man, give him a break. Where were they at then? Something to think about.
I have people posted on Twitter, Phil, look how shitty your stream was today because look at this. And they quote 3 different screen captures of the chat. It's the same 5 people shitting on the stream all day. I'm like, yeah, you're right. The same 5 people sat here shitting on the stream all day. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't want to ban them because if I banned them, then I get told that I'm a Nazi and I'm an asshole and, look how I treat my fans. Even though I don't know how you could call someone a fan who literally sat here for 4 hours and just complained. That's not a fan, right? A fan wouldn't do that. A fan would say, okay, improve this way. All right, I don't like this. I'm out of here. I'll come back later. Now, I will sit here and actively shit on you for 5 hours,
So
That's
a
not
fan can't have an expectation of you? So a fan can't sit there and be like, Jesus Christ, Phil. Because they're obviously still supporting you if they're still there. If they're still on the stream. But the fact that you're ignoring them or you're not even, or you're waving off any criticisms or critiques they have of you means what? I mean, they'd be different if they were just sitting there for 4 hours saying, you're an asshole, you're an asshole, you're an asshole. He didn't actually say that. He said they may have been acting like assholes, but he didn't actually say they were calling him an asshole. And if a fan sits there and says, hey, you could do this better, and they dip out, how is that a fan, Phil? You didn't get any money out of them. You didn't get any time spent with them. They didn't even stick around to see if there was any redeemable qualities to the stream. They just picked up and left you. Is that a fan, though? Maybe. I guess. I don't know. Galtopia is strange like that sometimes.
And when you're a free content creator on the internet like me, you gotta take the good with the bad. And there's tons of people who like the stuff, but they don't speak. They're the verbal minority. You know what I'm saying? Like they're kind of quiet about it. They sit there behind the scenes and support quietly. All right. So what can I do? And again, you have to understand that what you say actually does negatively affect me. You actually changed my whole demeanor for the day. If you were one of those people sitting here shitting on the streams constantly, you actually changed my whole demeanor yesterday to the point where I was not even excited to do the night stream or anything because all I was told all day was that I suck and I don't put any effort into my content, which of course couldn't be further from the truth. But, ignore the fact that I'm here 6 days a week full time, don't get a lot of time to spend with my family, instead just say, oh.
And it's not like he has to keep putting himself through this. He could take 2 days off. He theoretically could take 3. He's choosing not to. He's choosing not to, believing that if he drags out these bullshit streams, he'll make more money like that. And yet again, it's all garbage. It's all trash. People in his own audience, in that same Gestapo chat, have told him, maybe you need to cut your streaming days down. Oh, I can't do that. I got to keep working. Why? You make your own schedule. You say you have so much to do and you don't have time to spend with your family. You don't spend time with your family anyway, asshole. You said you work all day, and then, on your 1 day off that you have, you and Kat are running around running errands all day. That's not necessarily spending time, if you think about it. He don't see that? He don't see that. This is pathetic. At the end of the day, and then in actuality, that whole work schedule bullshit, he's literally doing that trying to prove that he's worth a damn, and nobody cares. Like legit. And Phil, I'll tell you directly, no one gives a shit. Whether you could work 6 days in a row, you could work 160 days in a row. You're still a piece of shit. Your content's still garbage, and no one's ever going to take you seriously. Most people should have been smart enough never to do so. End of story. It doesn't matter. Go ahead and act like you're slaving away on your fucking love seat, playing video games poorly for a living, and call that a job. Go ahead and do that if you like. But you're not going to ever prove and or establish to anybody that you work hard. You never really did.
Oh, well, Phil gets a lot of tips, so therefore, you know, he should really just be like, he should be doing these insane, crazy-ass fucking streams, you know, insano effort and shit.
Insano?
Like,
You mean anything that requires effort? That's basically pretty much what he's saying. Wow, I didn't realize that having pride in what you do would be considered insane. Who would have thought?
You know what you want from me. I was under the impression my streams are exactly what you want. Tons of gameplay, honest reactions, fun interactions between us. Like, what else do you want? I've been told for 2 years this is exactly what you guys want, and now all of a sudden it's not good enough. It's like, well, then what do you want? Right? See, and here
maybe
you are. Here's the
maybe
troll.
to the effect that was 2 years ago. And yet again, this goes back to something I've told you guys before about him putting shit off, and then getting mad that when he finally puts it out or he finally decides to do it, no one gives a fuck. Or they critique it. Or people are like, well, what's the point of all this? Oh, well, you were acting for this 2 years ago. That was 2 years ago. They don't even think the same way they used to with you 2 years ago. Phil might, but those people don't. People grow. People progress. Phil don't. And that's why you're that's why you're here in the mental gymnastics that you're here now.
Oh, what effort? Cruising through games on easy? I'm not playing on easy. I'm playing on default. The intended difficulty of a game, which is what I've been doing since day one when I started playing games in 2008 on YouTube. If you haven't figured out in 12 years what I do, then why are you here? You see, I'm sorry. I will improve. I will listen to criticism. I will listen to feedback.
You haven't done too much of that up to this point, and if you do, it doesn't get implemented till, at least apparently with the last example, 2 years later. What good is that to anybody? It doesn't even serve a purpose for you. That's why you're here defending it.
In 12 years, you haven't figured out the kind of person I am and the kind of gamer I am yet? I mean, that's on you. That's not on me. That's on you. To not figure it out in 12 fucking years. Like, how brain dead can you be? I just don't understand it. Exactly. Not every game is Dark Souls. I understand there's a group of people who only want to see that kind of content. Great. When the next From Software game comes out, you'll see a shitload of it. Because you know I'll probably end up playing the game multiple times. You know I'll probably really enjoy it. And I will get my ass handed to me. I just played Neo 2, which was kind of that situation. Right? Just a couple months ago. A few months ago. Actually, I lose track of time. Who knows when it was at this point with this year. But those games come and go. And they have a time to be enjoyed. It's not every game. You have to stop telling me that I have to change everything that I am as a person, as a gamer, to cater towards one kind of content because that's only what you want. That is the most self-entitled, demanding, greedy attitude to have as a viewer, and I am not going to tolerate it. I have people who tell me they like what I do. They want me to continue doing interactive gameplay. They want me to enjoy good games, not make every game a torturous fucking situation. Alright, if you don't like that, fine. Don't come to the streams where you feel that's the case, and come back when I'm doing something you like. Don't
Stop giving this piece of garbage money. Just stop. Like, he's giving you excuses on why he doesn't play. Why isn't he actually trying to play games well? Why isn't he trying to learn games well? Why isn't he trying to challenge himself? He's already given you all the excuses on why he doesn't do those things. He's giving you excuses on why you shouldn't have high expectations of him when it comes to the vest streak and to the vest celebration itself. He's not going to give you anything but utter garbage that's low effort for him. Stop giving him money. Stop supporting his streams. Stop going to his fucking streams. Fuck him. Let him starve. Let his ass starve. He's going to sit here and call you guys entitled, greedy, selfish, ungrateful. Fuck him. Fuck him. Let him starve. Let that piece of garbage starve and let him go back to his mom and beg for money so he can keep his house. Let him go back to that shit and maybe that'll humble him up. It won't, because he's done that before. He's been doing it for years. I'll say, fucking, let that vest streak die. Who gives a shit if it dies? Fuck it. Let it die. And then if you guys really want to be jerks, I don't recommend you do this, but if you guys want to be jerks, act like you guys are going to go ahead and hit the vest streak again, get to like 5 or 6 and then just stop. And then try it again later, a couple weeks later and shit. Starve his ass out. Fuck him. Fuck him. But you don't have to support someone like this. You guys choose to do this. You guys choose to be abused. You choose to be victims. Then be victims. End of story. End of fucking story. You would let this person speak to you that way? Call you guys ungrateful? Say that you guys don't appreciate him and what he does? You demand too much? You're gonna let this piece of shit, Dark Side Phil, the embodiment of failure, laziness, minimum effort, maximum payback or blowback, if you will. But whatever. Just the bare minimum of everything and anything in a lot of ways. You would have the nerve to sit there and let him tell you that you guys are greedy, you guys are selfish, because you guys gave him $20,000 and he promised you guys a vest celebration and didn't come through? Because what? He fed his gout. He talked about future plans just to keep you guys giving him more money that more than likely he's never going to come through on anyway, because he's even said he's not going to replace his PC until the damn thing breaks, until it burns out. But you guys are the ungrateful assholes. Jesus Christ.
Piece of content I put out because you are so fucking entitled. You know what I mean?
So fucking entitled. Jesus Christ.
Ghost of Tsushima is not a super difficult game. It has challenge. I've died a bunch. I've died to a lot of the enemies, or being overwhelmed by a bunch of enemies, or even a few of these leaders have been quite difficult. And the duels too. The duels I died a bunch, right? But guess what? As soon as you die, the game respawns you right near where you started off, and there's really no penalty for it. It's definitely not Dark Souls. Even if I upped the difficulty 1,000,000 times, when I die, I'll still respawn right where I left off, and I'll be able to keep challenging until I win. What's the point? The game's not meant to be Dark Souls, so if you don't get that through your fucking head, I don't know what to tell you. You need to wise up. Okay? I don't even know what else to say. Like, listen to me. I'm going to try to come through as honest as I can here. I love streaming. I love games. I love the interactive streams we have. And if
someone has to keep telling you that they love this, they love that, they love this, they love that, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. If he has to keep, if anybody, not even just Phil, anybody, if they got to keep iterating how passionate they are about something, how much they love something, how much they enjoy doing something, maybe they don't actually enjoy it. Just saying.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? What's up, everyone? Welcome to the weekend, and welcome to the stream. I am DSP, and I welcome you here to the stream. How's it going?
We're gonna make a cut here. We'll be right back. Jesus Christ. All right, we're back. Buggy button mechanics on my part. My fault. But it's gonna repeat for maybe 15 seconds, but we should be good. That and this part needs to be heard again anyway.
Just as I can here. I love streaming. I love games. I love the interactive streams we have, and I like constructive feedback. I didn't get any constructive feedback yesterday. I was just told, you didn't put in effort, your 200 vest streaks celebration sucked. I wasn't told how to improve it. I wasn't told this is how you can do things better. I just had a group of people shitting on me for hours. Then I come to the night stream for Street Fighter, and the shitting continued. And I was like, enough is enough, you know? And the truth of the matter is, you guys cheered me up on the late stream. You did. Like, a few people kind of slipped up and were like, okay, here's the deal. It's not as bad as people are saying. Those are people just being assholes. You know, we're here for gameplay now. Can we, like, you know, get out of this funk? And I did. It took about an hour, but I kind of shook myself out of the funk, and I started feeling better. And once I started feeling better, I started playing better in Street Fighter. People liked the stream, you know.
Said it took him about an hour. So is that when the vest goal was hit? Is that when the tip goal, or the vest tip goal, whatever? Is that when that was finally reached? And then all of a sudden he started to chip her up? Just asking. Usually how it goes.
But that's the thing. Now, here we go. Again, Eastside Grease Job, you've been banned multiple times. All right, well, excuse me. You've been talked to multiple times about being negative. Listen to what he just said. People tell you how to improve, and you call them mentally ill, dunderheaded idiots. Really? That's really what happens. People give me
good pretty much.
constructive
It's usually some type of pathetic backhoofed insult to shit on anybody who has anything to say about what you do. Because you're the one who's like, oh, I'm the one who's been doing this for 7 years, or whatever the case may be. I think I know what I'm doing. I think I have an idea of how to make this work. But then you come back a couple days later and cry about how, I don't know what you guys want. I don't have any ideas. You know, I'm still trying to kind of figure things out. So yeah, he's very much correct on that situation. Very much correct.
suggestions, and that's what I say. So yesterday, when we had the segment, all right, when we had this segment of the 200 vest streak, where I said, give me suggestions for improvement on how to improve my streams, and people gave me really concrete information, like, you should definitely improve your webcam's outdated, doesn't look good. You know, we'd like to have the green screen, even though we've asked you for years and years and you keep denying it. We really would like that. You should eventually get a new PC, so that way you can play PC games or do better quality streams. So all that, right? All that. Every time someone gave me a suggestion, I said, man, you guys are just
all that stuff right there was part of the whole stream improvement segment. He already had all that on his mind anyway, which is stuff that people have been telling him to do for years. It wasn't like all that stuff was pitched to him yesterday. People have been asking him to do that for years, and he never did it. And he gave them excuses. And he says, I'm not that type of content creator. I don't need to do that. I don't have time to do that. I don't have the space to do that. How many times I got to tell you idiots? How many times do I got to let you guys know I'm not like the big popular clown streamers out there? I'm authentic. I am me and whatnot. And what you see is what you get. He's the one who told them that for years. And now he wants to try to spin it and be like, oh, well, you know, I want this new PC. I want a new webcam. I want the green screen. Everything that you guys have been recommending, everything you guys said that I could use to improve, people have been telling you to do that for years. Don't act like that was just, you know, brought up yesterday, and now all of a sudden that's the path to move forward on, because they still have to figure out a way how they're going to pay for it. And even then, the money that they give you for it, you still won't use it on that because you're going to have other obligations. Semantics.
Idiot. It's right? No, that's not what happened. You're an asshole. You're just being, you see what I mean? And this is what I mean. This is the kind of person that they don't understand that when they say something like that, that can actually get to a content creator.
Every time someone tries to recommend something to you, you criticize them and call them something. No, I don't. I've never done that, you fucking asshole. Wow, Phil. Good job with proving your point. Well done there, champ. Well done.
Because I'm just trying to be real with you guys, and I'm trying to improve. And when you tell me that every time that we have a good conversation about improvement that I turn it off, like, that's not true. It's just not. And saying something like that is incredibly closed-minded. You got to understand you've done absolutely nothing to improve anything. Instead, what you've done is you made me feel bad. But you don't care, right? Like, you're here, you think you don't care either.
If you put all this stuff off for years, people have been asking for the green screen since 2014. Or 2015 at the very least. Yeah, 14, 15. At the very least. People have been telling him about a webcam since he started, essentially. And he's probably needed a PC for at least the last couple of years. He certainly has needed a new laptop for the longest, and he damn sure needed a new keyboard and mouse. I used to watch Dark Dave Mirrors, or I used to watch other restreamers. And Phil would have made $200 just in this particular stream, that particular stream I was watching. Hey, Phil, you just made $200, man. Why don't you go ahead and order a $20 wireless mouse and keyboard off of Amazon? Oh, I can't do that. This money's already spent. I need this money to pay my bills, to pay my obligations. How many times I need to tell you this? Any money that comes in for tips, I need for that to go to bills. I don't have the time and I don't have the money to go ahead and buy a new keyboard and mouse. Just got $200 throughout that stream. For the duration of that stream, he got $200 and says he can't buy a $20 wireless keyboard and mouse. And then proceeds to continue bitching and complaining about how this keyboard and mouse sucks.
And that's okay, right? Because I'm the one who put myself out in public. No, it's not okay. You should know better. You should be a better person than that. You shouldn't just crap on people constantly because you can. Instead, you should say, all right,
and
well,
yet that's what he did. He crapped on other people who were more successful than he was, or who were in better positions than he was, because he could. And what did he do? He hid behind the fact that, oh, that's just my opinion. Oh, I have the right to criticize. I have a right to give my opinion. Oh, you asked me what my opinion was and I gave it to you. But if you do that for him, oh, you should be more respectful. You shouldn't be so rude. Don't you see that I'm trying? Who are you to sit there and bash me like that? King of hypocrisy.
Well, when I tell you something constructive, you call everyone a dunderheaded idiot. It's not true.
That's very true.
You know?
It's very fucking true. The fact that he couldn't even sell the lie because he knew it's true. Wow, what a cuck.
It's just not true. People criticizing me.
It's just not true. It's not true. It's not true. Get the fuck out of here.
Streak. I didn't create the vest streak. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea. I ran with what you guys created on the streams.
I told you.
You know?
He wants all the money, and he wants it to keep going because he wants all the money. But if it fails, or if you don't like something that has to do with it, that's all on you guys. He's absolving himself of that responsibility. Isn't he a gross piece of shit? He's the one who benefits from it. He's the one who said in the previous videos that went up, he's the one who said, this is part of our community. You know what I'm saying? This is part of the streaming culture now. But you're going to fucking sit there and say, you're going to go ahead and sit there and say that if you don't like what's being done with the vest streak, that's on you guys? That has nothing to do with me. You guys started it. You guys created this. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh boy. A pig walloping in its own shit.
So why are you yelling at me and criticizing me for it? I didn't create it. You guys tell me every day the vest streak's important. It's important for it to continue. It means something. It's positivity. It's fun. People, when the vest streak is in jeopardy.
He's the one who said that the vest streak has been positive because it's been helping to get him out of the financial deficit that he put his ass into. But he's gonna twist it and say the few people who suck up to him behind the scenes is like, oh, I love the vest streak and it's great, man. It's bringing a lot of positivity to your streams. You see how he's legit trying to throw it back on them? He's legit trying to fucking flip flop it back on them. Damn, what a scumbag. And people outside of his fan base actually have the nerve to defend this guy sometimes. That shit's wild.
People freak out. And the entirety of the stream chat becomes about, man, can we keep this vest streak going? Right? I mean, that's not me imagining it. So obviously it has importance to people. But God forbid I bring it up. Right? God forbid I bring it up because then now Phil's greedy. Like, wait, what? What? How does me pushing for the continuation of something you guys like and promoting something you guys want become greedy?
Because you're benefiting from it. That's why. Because financially and morally, you're benefiting from it. And they obviously realize that. Why you're acting like, oh, they're giving you $200 and that just goes into the void to keep the the streams going positively doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Why doesn't it make sense, you ask? You guys ask? Let me explain. Phil always says, and has always tried to say, I should say, that he's propagated a positive environment and a positive stream for those who come there. He wants this to be a positive, welcoming place, right? He's always tried to propagate that. That's before the vest streak. So now that the vest streak has helped fulfill that goal, and you are benefiting from it, what actually what actually beats what? Phil making $200 a day and wanting to keep that trend going to keep himself financially stable, right? Or propagating an environment that supposedly is already supposed to be a positive, welcoming environment. Big bank take little bank. Or big snort takes little snort. What beats what? What advantage does Phil really have? If people tell Phil, great stream, we love the positivity, everything's going great, and whatnot, you're the best, I'll see you tomorrow, and some of those same people are the very people who have contributed to the vest streak so it could be hit, who's actually winning? But see, Phil's not trying to tell you guys that. It's almost like he's trying to say the vest streak is just a separate entity in itself, and he's almost trying to skew it to where, or he's trying to over snort it that, oh, don't worry about the money that the $200 a day that goes to the vest streak. You guys are contributing money to me because the streams are going well, and the vest streak is just the manifestation of that positivity. But at the end of the day, you guys are the ones who started the vest streak, not me. So if anything, if there's something about the vest streak you don't like, or the vest celebration or whatever, that's on you guys. That's not on me. I'm just here to promote a positive stream, play games, and have fun. All the extra shit, that's on you. If I'm trying to keep the vest streak going, I'm doing it to try to help you guys out because you said that it's a positive thing. It's a positive thing that you guys want to keep going. He's legit trying to play it off like he don't benefit from it, but he obviously does. Wow.
I just don't get it. I don't. I really don't. And it does. It disheartens me from thinking about the future and everything. You know, yesterday I actually went into that 200 vest celebration really positively minded that we're going to come out with a lot of good ideas for the future of weight. You know, again, I told you guys my very personal information about stuff going on with me behind the scenes right now, how much your support with this vest streak has helped me, and how it looks like if it continues, that not only may I get back on my feet with my back taxes, but positivity for the future. I may be able to afford both new consoles this year. I may be able to improve my streams this year. For the first time in years, I can maybe sit down and improve the quality of my streams because I'll be able to afford it, right? So I'm sharing all this positivity with you, and I get told the event was terrible. It's like, I don't even get it, because people have been telling me for a long time that to show effort I should improve my streams. Okay, let's talk about it. Here's how we can do it. Oh, this segment's boring. What? This is what, again, I get so many completely contradictory statements these days when it comes to my content that I don't even know what to believe anymore. You know? But you understand, I'm just trying to vent here. Like, it's mind-rattling, it's mind-numbing. I just don't even know what to think anymore. When I get told everything you're doing is good, let's do some improvement, and I do everything, and then you're like, well, that was terrible. Well, wow. Gee, thanks. Now I'm being told I whine for hours. Okay, well,
yeah,
goodbye.
you kind of do.
And that's what I mean.
Yeah, you kind of do. Not everything that you do is going to hit with everybody. Take the feedback, take as much of that feedback as you can that is usable, right? That you can actually implement in another way, and then discard everything else. Like I said, if it brought you down, you allowed it to bring you down. It's nobody else's fault but your own. They're not going to sit there and just clap for you just because of effort. You know what I mean? We're not passing out participation trophies. $20,000 was on the line at this time. No one has to do any of that dumb shit. Nobody's obligated to do that. There's $20K on the line. He's not actually out here doing this for free. There's $20K on the line. Not even $20K on the line. $20K that he was already paid. He was paid $20,000. Those people have the right to say whatever the fuck they want. They have the right to say whatever they want. And this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen, when I shit on that Evo 2005. His 4th place finish. Because here's what the reality is. You weren't good enough. Pure and simple. You weren't good enough. You took 4th. You sat there and took a participation trophy. And he wasn't even in medal contingency. He didn't get gold, silver, bronze. He got none of that. He got a participation trophy, and he took that and he ran with it for a decade. So can any of you be surprised on what he's doing right now? Just with that little bit of information, that little bit of knowledge, are any of you actually surprised at what he's doing right now?
Like, really? So every day when I boot up my game, all I do is I sit here and I whine for hours. These factually wrong statements are not criticisms. They are you being a bitch. That's you.
There you go. Hey, you yet again, someone criticized him. Hey, all you do is whine and complain and shit every day. Feels like that's not true. You're a bitch. It's amazing how he gets played. It's fucking hilarious. And it's sad too because like you want to say something. Believe it or not, you want to say something to his dumb ass. But what the fuck is the point? Yet again, ladies and gentlemen, this is why the motto is what it is. Give DSP, Darkside Phil, Phil Brunel, Dark Geppetto, Dark, Dave, whatever you want to call him, give him enough rope and he'll strangle himself. And that's all he's doing here. It doesn't matter whether he recognizes it or not. That's not what the point of this is. You know what I'm saying? Troll videos don't exist to show Phil the error of his ways. He don't care about that. It's to show other people this is what he is, and this is who he is. That's the point. That's the point. That's the reality, if you will. Trying to prove or trying to help this asshole improve is fucking fruitless. You know what I'm saying? It's absolutely fruitless. It's fool's gold, to be honest with you. Don't waste your time doing that. There's no need for it. He don't even care enough. Look at him. He's a scumbag. He got 20K from some of these people and proceeds to go ahead and try to shit on them. Proceeds to guilt trip them. Proceeds to say that they were entitled, they're being greedy, they're being selfish. How dare them? And people should feel bad for this? Fuck all that.
Here to actively insult me, and it's not going to be tolerated anymore. I'm serious. Like, that's not criticism. It's not even factually fucking true. Once the gameplay starts, I rarely even talk about anything like that unless you guys bring it up and then I interact with you and we have a conversation about it because you brought it up.
See how he tries to hide behind that? I told you just a minute ago. That's how he likes to hide around his little shit. Oh, you guys asked me. Oh, I was giving you my opinion. Oh, I have the right to speak on a particular subject and not be shitted on. Everybody else gets opinions. Why can't I have my opinion? You brought it up. You asked. You asked for my opinion. I gave it to you. Don't be mad because you didn't like it. There you go. Right here.
See what I mean? Like, this is what I mean. That's not... And then he'll say, oh, well, I got banned from Phil's stream because I give him a criticism. No, you didn't. You lied. You made something up to pass a fucking negative narrative about me and act like it's some kind of a weird truth. And then you got moderated for it because you're a fucking liar. And then you complain about it outside of the stream. That's on you for being an idiot. God damn it, man. You know? I'm glad I got to vent about this morning. I hope you guys understand. What you say and do and how you behave on my streams can actually really get to me. You know? And yesterday was a day when I went into it feeling so positive. I'm so excited. 200 vest celebration. Coming into it with a real positive attitude. Hope for the future because things are going good for me. And just being shat on really hurt. It did, man. It completely, like, flipped my mindset. And that Duderist says, the saddest part is people wait to come and shit on the mood when things are going well. Maybe that's what it is. You know what I mean? Maybe that's exactly what it is. Because you notice, the week before, everything's going wrong. Right? What happened the week before? False DMCA claims, being suspended repeatedly from Twitch, DDoS attacks, and everyone rallies to support me. Everyone says, don't worry, Phil, we got your back. No matter what you do, we're here for you. It doesn't matter where you are or where you're streaming or what you're doing. We got your back. So when the cards are down, people support me. But then, everything gets cleared up. Let's have a celebration of the positive. Oh, this sucks. Everything you do sucks. This is boring. You know? at least we're getting some conversation about it now because, you know, people are now at least getting some dialogue about it. I hope you guys understand that. It's one thing. Yeah, do I have thick skin? Yeah, I do. Let me tell you guys, with the amount of shit that gets said about me every single day, I have to have some of the thickest skin on the internet.
If you had thick skin, then this wouldn't exist. You're crying like a little bitch just to do it. To be honest with you, at the end of the day, he already has their money. So what the fuck is he crying about? Take it back. The things you say hurt. It hurts my feelings. Does that sound like someone with thick skin, ladies and gentlemen? What you say hurts my feelings. I was negatively affected because this dozen people had all these awful things to say about me. Oh, then wait a second. Come to find out, he just verified and said that people sent him screenshots of the same 5 people talking about how this was boring and why couldn't he do better and so on and so forth. So did you guys catch that early on? He went from a dozen to only like 5 people. Not to call him a liar or anything, though. You know, never do that. You know, why would Darkside bitch, why would Darkside Karen sit here and lie to you guys about a situation? You know what I'm saying? Why would the thickest skin, the thickest of hides, if you will, would sit there and complain and cry to you guys about 5 people who didn't like something that was going on? Nah, that would never happen. That doesn't sound practical at all.
Every day to me, I have to, you know, and not everyone's like that. A lot of people, they get affected pretty badly by stuff that gets said and done about them. And I've done my best over the years to try to not give 2 shits about this. But when my viewers are actively coming to the stream and doing that, you know, it does affect me really badly. And I just want you guys to know that. You know, I'm working my butt off. I'm doing my best. Am I at a construction job where I lift girder blocks and I rip down walls for a living? No. But I work a lot. I'm here 6 days a week full time. Trust me, I would much rather have another day at least during the week to spend with my wife. You know, my wife actually said this to me the other day. She's like, just think about this. If we had 2 days off a week. One day we could go out, run our errands, do all the things we need to do. And another day we could have to ourselves. Actually have like a date day where we can go out, maybe go to the zoo, go to the movies, go do stuff. We live in Washington
to the zoo.
State. We haven't had...
Go to the... How many times did people... The zoo thing is whatever. Phil has some strange fetish messing with animals, whatever. That's on him. As it pertains to going to the movies, how many times did people offer to pay for him to go to the movies so he could do a review on it? And he refused to do it. Oh, I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the money to do that. I can't do that. I just can't. It'd be nice, but I can't do it. And getting back to the premise, no one is saying that he can't take 2 days off a week. He's choosing not to. And now, all of a sudden, to fit that narrative, right, to follow up on that, oh, my wife says that, you know, it'd be nice if we could take 2 days off. But wait a second, Phil. I thought you said that it was already terrible enough that you didn't have enough time to spend with your family, but on your day off, that's all you do. But you just admitted that all you guys do is run around and do errands all day, which we already knew that anyway. So how's that actually spending time? When theoretically, you're still working. What's the point? And it's not like he's outside of him and Kat are running around doing errands for 8 fucking hours. Let's be realistic. Let's keep it, you know, let's keep it a stack. So, what's the point of all this? You're choosing to work 6 days because you're a pathetic piece of shit and you give a fuck about what people think about you, which is pretty petty, to be honest with you. And you're greedy. And you really think that 6th day is really squeezing the last bits of life out of these people, right? And that justifies why you should be compensated the way you are, when in actuality you're just oversaturating the market, just like on YouTube, and that's why you're failing, and that's why you're not going nowhere, and that's why viewership is down even though money's up, and you can't tell the difference because you're fucking retarded. Sorry, let's call a spade a spade. Good luck with that. Oh, I'm sorry. You've been already failing at it since like late 2016, sorry. Since late 2016, he's been playing it the way he's been playing it and been failing. Matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why Panda left his bitch ass. Because they just weren't spending enough time with each other. And on top of that, when they were spending time, he still couldn't get it up, so it didn't matter. What a cuck.
A single day where we've gone out and like explored the state. Like, yeah, you're right. We don't. I can't. You know, I can't. The one
Just
day a week that I
imagine
get
you
off
being a
has
pathetic piece of shit that you can tell that you sat there and told your wife, who actually leaves the house 3 or 4 days a week to go to work, that, oh yeah, I can't afford to take an extra day off and whatnot to spend time with you, even though you work from home. You make your own schedule, but you're going to tell her, oh, I don't have time to spend time with you like that. Only when we have errands to do. Only on the designated day that I used to go out with my mommy, and that's why. Any of you guys know DSP lore, you know what I'm talking about, and whatnot. That's the reason why Tuesdays are the day, because he used to go shopping with mommy back in the day on Tuesdays, and he stuck with it because Phil's a creature of habit. He legit is. He's legit a creature of habit. But imagine what kind of piece of shit husband you must be to tell your wife that you can't take extra days off from work, or you can't take a extra day off from work, when it's a home business, air quotes, and you make your own schedule. What kind of weak excuse of a man must you be for that? And you work from home. You make your own schedule. It'd be different, ladies and gentlemen, if he legit owned his own business, where you pretty much have to be there around the clock. No, he's at home failing at video games 6 days a week on a schedule that doesn't even need to exist. He makes his own schedule. He calls his own shots. So he must not love her too much then if you don't want to take an extra day off for her, right? That's how one would interpret that. Just saying. It's like he's putting money over her. And it's not even a lot of money, to be honest. So I guess unless he can figure out a way to get unless he can figure out how to get $300 or $400 a day out of these guys, out of these idiots, he may never get that second day off, huh? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, oink, oink.
Compiling everything. If we have any appointments, any errands, any shopping we need to do, then try to cram in a meal if we want to have fun or anything that we have time for. That's it. That's all I can do. I gotta be here 6 days a week to make enough money to pay the bills, and now try to get myself out of the rut I'm in. Like, that's the situation I'm in, you know, and I'm doing my best to get out of it. So understand that, guys. Like, I am working hard. I swear to you, I'm doing my best. I'm trying. Just because I'm a guy who plays
I swear to
all
God,
day.
I'm working hard. I swear to God, I'm working hard. I'm trying. I swear. I'm trying. I swear. Don't listen to any of the idiots that I just called idiots because I'm putting in low effort and I shitted on recently or just a minute ago. I swear to God, I'm working hard. I swear. I swear to God, I love my wife, despite the fact that I'm not even willing to take time off to spend time with her. I swear to God, I love her. And I love my stepson Jasper too. Even though I'm trying to hit him with the water bottle every chance I get. I swear to God, I love them. I love my life. You know what I'm saying? I love the positivity that are on stream, despite the fact that I'm bitching at you guys about how a dozen people, whatever, Shawn Michaels story he has and whatnot. Most of you guys might get that reference. Despite this group of people who come in and shitted on me yesterday, it made my day feel horrible. I swear to God, I love this. I swear to God, we have positivity. I swear to God, I'm doing the best I can as a streamer. I swear to God. Monday Matt. You guys all remember that, right? Didn't Monday Matt swear on his kid that he didn't flag them boys? Didn't Monday Matt swear to God multiple times that he didn't flag them boys? I'm just saying. Sometimes when people say they swear to God, maybe you should ask them what God they believe in.
Doesn't mean that I'm not trying. I really am. And it really is mentally draining to work as much as I do. And it really is disheartening and emotionally draining when I plan something and then everyone just says it's boring, it sucks. All right, well then give me feedback. No, you suck. You didn't put any effort into this. Well, that's never going to make the content better. All that's going to do is make me feel bad, you know? Well, I think I've vented enough about this topic, you think, you know? Let's very briefly go through the schedule. A lot of people have contributed here with thoughts on the subject that I'd like to get to. So first of all, I'm very pleased to be playing Ghost of Tsushima today. Regardless of the fact that apparently there's a group of people that just don't like to play through because they think it's too easy, I'm really enjoying the game. I'm going to continue to enjoy the game. I'm going to continue to play it at my own pace, try to check out all the content in the game that I come across, because so far, every single piece of content that I've explored, I've enjoyed. It's one of the most visually stunning games I've ever played in my entire life, and I really feel this is my pick for Game of the Year so far. Now, that could change. There's actually, if you were here yesterday for the celebration, I went through the game schedule update for the rest of the year, and there's actually quite a few very high-profile games coming out by the end of this year that could potentially be really good, okay? So by no means am I saying this is definitely my Game of the Year pick, but right now this is definitely the front runner, okay? I'm super excited for this. I hope you guys are too. I want to continue the playthrough, and this will be my main focus for a while. I hope you guys understand that. The game's so long that I need to focus on this as the main gameplay stream for a bit. So I hope you guys are okay with that, all right? So 3 to 4 hours of gameplay of Ghost of Tsushima right now on the stream. Later tonight, Paper Mario and the Origami King. It looks like we're coming up on the first boss of the game, which will be cool because we've been playing it for about, I'd say 6 hours now. So we'll see. I don't know how long the game is, but coming up on the first boss after that, I mean, obviously means the game's going to be pretty lengthy. You know what I mean? So I'm excited for that. Tomorrow, more Ghost of Tsushima, and I'm going to go back to Deadly Premonition 2 for the late stream, because apparently they patched the game. And the rumor is that it runs better. I don't know, because I personally haven't played it. But hopefully it performs better. And I want to, I want to play that at least 1 or 2 times a week moving forward to try to beat it. We are heading into the final third of the game, which is a good thing. We made great progress, and then the whole thing kind of got screwed up with all the nonsense last week with the DMCA claims and the DDoS attacks and everything. So I definitely want to get that back into the rotation, okay? Monday, more Ghost of Tsushima, and either more Paper Mario or more Deadly Premonition. I guess we'll see how it goes Sunday night and decide. I'm off on Tuesday, and then the whole idea for the moving forward in August will be Ghost of Tsushima balanced with other stuff at night. Whether it's Mario, Deadly Premonition, the return of Fire Emblem, maybe I'll bring back Animal Crossing, we'll see. All right? So, that's my plans for the schedule. I also want to remind everyone, please keep voting in the Viewer's Choice event. Your votes actually matter in a huge way right now because the voting is very, very close for the games that are going to be my Viewer's Choice playthroughs. 2 different games are going to become Viewer's Choice playthroughs, all right? So, please vote. Type !! Viewer's Choice in the stream chat to bring up the link so you can vote. I'm trying to think. I guess that's about it. By the way, that polling will be open for about 1 more week. And then next weekend, we'll sit down and determine what votes were legit, because I will be checking to look for bot voting and shit like that, because there was a lot of that last time. I would suspect someone's going to try to pull a fast one again. So I'll give it a look. But for the most part, I'm excited to see what games you guys pick for playthroughs for August. Okay? All right. Let's get to shout-outs, because you guys contributed a lot and had a lot to say about what I had to just say. And I'm happy about that, because the more feedback, the better. That's my opinion. So first of all, the first contribution today is from Rob on Wheels, who tipped me $5. So thank you for playing Tsushima so comprehensively. As someone who can't physically play video games, this means so much. Well, first of all, Rob, you're welcome. When I play a game that I feel is, a game that, number one, a lot of effort went into, obviously, and it has meaningful content, instead of just, a side mission, kill 5 generic enemies, go gather 5 tree branches and give it back to the freaking guy who whittles the trees, right, or whatever. I'll take my time to do meaningful content. It was the same thing with, like, Witcher 3. It was the same thing with Fallout games that have, side missions that I feel are meaningful. I'll do all the content. And I really feel that they did a great job so far. I don't know how far I am into the game, but so far, I feel every piece of content I've come across in Ghost of Tsushima was meaningful and fun, which is why I'm playing it at a slow pace. I have had entire streams now where I've just done side stuff and did advance the story. And I'm okay with that. I am in no rush to complete this game because I feel that it is enjoyable every time I play it. Okay? So, in that regard,
despite the fact that you have people complaining about it, despite the fact that you have other games that need to be played, Despite the fact that, I mean, what's the point of all this? Yet again, we're stretching gameplay, we're stretching playthroughs out for his own enjoyment and trying to rush through others that he don't like. Even though the audience likes it. Because remember, the audience is the one who's ingesting this, right? They're the ones that actually have to take all this in. They're the ones that have to decide whether they would want to throw their money at this because they like what they're dealing with, what they're watching, what they're ingesting. Phil is sitting here blatantly telling you, yeah, I'm going to milk this playthrough because I'm having a good time with it. And that's all that really matters to him. It doesn't really matter to anybody else whether they find it to be enjoyable, whether they find it to be engaging, whether they find it to be, air quotes, meaningful. Because what the fuck does Phil think is meaningful? He thinks everything he does has value and is worthwhile, even though most of it don't. And years later, he'll shit on it and even say that it didn't. But at the time he was doing it, he did. Okay, I guess, whatever.
Don't worry, I'm not going to rush through it. I'm in no rush to beat it. And thanks for sharing that, me playing at that kind of a pace is meaningful to you. I appreciate that, and thank you for the support as well. Giraffe Conservational, I always get this guy's name wrong. It's Giraffe Conservationist. I say conservationalist. I don't know why. But anyway, Giraffe Conservationist tipped me $5 and says, let's all hug our monitors and give Phil a group hug. Sometimes, I hate to say it, sometimes it's kind of what you need. Especially when you have a day like yesterday where it was just like, I really felt like crap. Sometimes you just need to hang out with people who are going to give you a pep talk, in life. Sometimes you just need that. So we'll see how today goes. Dollbot Cheers says, how do you distinguish between insults and constructive criticism? Multiple people here have told you that the reason they want you to play on hard is because it's not difficult on hard, and it makes the player use multiple tactics, which is more fun to watch. Okay, here we go again. I've already explained, by the way.
Already dismissing it. Already dismissing it. That's why you guys can't take anything he says seriously. This right here could have been a good chance to try to flip the narrative. Won't do it, though, because he doesn't like pushback. You know what I'm saying? He was okay with the first guy sucking him off, but right here, here we go again with this. Here we go with it, you fucking idiot. Fucking nudnik. Now you want me to do this shit again? God damn you. That's Phil for you. That's exactly how he treats people. And yet people are still compelled to throw thousands upon thousands of dollars at this guy. He don't give a fuck about you. And then this whole delusion about it's us versus them, you guys already lost. You guys already lost. You guys were beaten before you even touched the field. You were done. You know what I mean? You were done. And though you may get over here, or you may get over with something on this end or something on that end, you're still losing. You're still losing. And the sad part is you're losing from within. Your very movement is a joke because the very person who's implementing all this shit don't even believe in it. He's profiting from it and he gets his daily dose of dopamine. Outside of that, he could give a rat's ass about you until he needs you again tomorrow. Womp womp.
No lie, probably about 4 times so far. Why I don't want to play this game on hard. He still demands that I do. Still. Like, he can't get it through his head that it doesn't matter how many times he says the playthrough would be more enjoyable for him if I went on hard, that it wouldn't be for me. He just doesn't get it. Okay? Like, I'm trying to be as non-adversarial and non-offensive as I can. So let's see how I can explain this in a way that maybe he'll get it. Alright.
So it doesn't want to call him names, but he's okay with still demeaning him in some way, shape, or form. Take it all in, ladies and gentlemen. Take it all in.
Alright? I'm playing it at the default difficulty, which is supposed to be the difficulty that the game designers intend you to play it at. Alright? If you disagree with that, I feel bad for you. Because if you don't understand what default means, I don't know what else to tell you. You should go look it up in a dictionary. Alright? This is just like the people who want to tell me that 10 out of 10 doesn't mean 100% or perfect, when it does. Factually, math doesn't change. Because people have been doing reviews wrong for years doesn't mean that math changes. Okay? Anyway, it's the default experience, right? That is what I want to experience with this game. All right? If I was playing the game on the default difficulty and I was easily defeating every single thing I come across, if I wasn't feeling that there was any challenge, and if I hadn't died at all up to this point in the game, I mean, at this point in the game, I'm pretty far into it. I'd say probably 12 to 16 hours into the game. If that were the case, I would gladly say, man, maybe the game is too easy, and I would like to challenge myself a little more. Allow me to up the difficulty. And I've done that from time to time with various games. In fact, you know, with the Resident Evil franchise recently, both Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, people really expressed the desire to see me play it on a harder difficulty, and I caved, and I said I would do it, and I did it. Okay? This is a case where this is a brand new IP. I want to experience what I almost said Naughty Dog, whoa. I want to experience what Sucker Punch has intended for me to experience as the default experience of the game. And again, if I at any point in the game feel like, man, this is just way too easy and I'm not having fun, I will up the difficulty. However, if you've actually watched the playthrough, you will see that that's not the case. I have died multiple times, and even though a lot of the times when I'm facing a lot of enemies, I persevere, it's not because I'm mashing buttons. It's because I'm actively switching stances, I'm parrying with the correct timing, I'm dodging, I'm using all of the game mechanics given to me to succeed. If I just sat here mashing buttons, like if this game was a button masher and I'm beating everything by mashing attack, and I wasn't using tactics to win, I would argue you're right.
Yes, because Phil knows what tactics are. We've seen him play Street Fighter before.
Difficulty. But I am. Every enemy type, you have to switch stance. Then I back off. I'm using these new arrow abilities that I've now unlocked with this new armor set to slow down time, get multiple headshots. I'm trying to use stealth kills to my advantage. Multiple stealth kills, chain stealth kills, right? If I was rushing in headfirst like an idiot and mashing buttons and destroying entire camps, I would definitely up the difficulty. But that's not the case. I'm using all the game mechanics the game has given me to succeed. Now, to you, the viewer, you may not even be aware of this. Maybe you're not recognizing when I do a stance change. Maybe you're not recognizing the fact that I am actively using new things as I'm unlocking every single time I play the game. Maybe you're not. And okay, if that is the case, and as an outsider, you're not playing, you're just watching. If you're not actively realizing that's what's happening, I can kind of understand your stance. I totally understand your stance.
Actually, you shouldn't, because as an interactive streamer, right, and as a content creator, you should be explaining to them what you're doing as you do it. Isn't that what was supposed to separate you from the guy who initially watched, who started to get you into Let's Plays and playthroughs and all that bullshit? Just in case you guys don't know the lore. The reason why Phil started even doing any of this is because he supposedly was playing some video game, couldn't figure it out, because he's not that smart, you see. Ends up going on YouTube and found someone else who was playing it. But the person, it had no audio, or it had no verbal audio, if you will. It just had the game audio. But the guy shows you how to beat the boss, or beat whatever the part was. But there was no one there to sit there and spoon feed that to you, if you will. I'll put that in air quotes. There was no one there to actually explain it to you. Like, didn't walk you through it step by step. The video itself was probably as straightforward as you could ever get. But Phil wanted to be spoon-fed, and it didn't do that. So that's why Phil decided to do what he does and whatnot, so he could actually talk you through the situation. He actually can express to you what's going on, what is he doing, and how he did it. It's not just the visual, he's giving you the verbal instructions, if you will. But that right there is in sharp contrast to this right here. If people are watching him play and they don't understand what's going on, and they don't see the new abilities he's using, they don't understand his strategy, tactics, or his mindset, then what's the point? What makes this any different than what that guy was doing 10 plus years ago, who allegedly inspired Phil to do what he does now? It makes it kind of pointless, doesn't it? it makes it kind of useless, doesn't it? It kind of makes it seem like any commentary that that's the word I was looking for, commentary. Any commentary that Phil does add to it is just worthless, just snorts in the wind, and it has no purpose. It holds no value. He's just wasting other people's time. Imagine that.
But if you do understand that, and you're still going to tell me that I need to raise the difficulty of the game, you know what I mean? Here's what I'm going to say. Buy the game yourself and play it yourself. That's totally okay.
Wait,
go buy the game yourself and play it.
These people come to you to be entertained, to be informed, right? And wait a second, let's reword that. These people come to you to be entertained, and these people come to be informed on the game, on its functionality, and on its functionality, and just its in the overall premise. And if they feel like you're progressing through the game too easily, you could up the difficulty to make it a bit more entertaining, to make it a bit more engaging, and maybe through that, you'll engage more with the audience on giving them an understanding of the game itself. You now go from, instead of insulting him, well, directly name calling him, I should say, you decide to go ahead and shame him or shame them on, oh, if you guys don't understand what I'm doing, if you guys can't catch up to the situation, if you guys can't process, right, what you're seeing, I feel bad for you. To now, oh, you don't like what I'm doing? You don't like the way I'm playing this? You don't think the difficulty's high enough? Play it yourself. You go out, you buy the game, and then you play it. Don't bother me. That's basically what he's saying. Don't bother me. I'll play this the way I want, and if you don't find it entertaining, fuck off. Play it yourself then. And for all the rest of you guys in the cult, I hope you guys are understanding what's going on. I'm gonna basically land bash the fuck out of this guy. And you guys want it too? Because you guys can catch it as well. You can catch these hooves if you want it. I got free snorts out here, and everybody can catch it. That's basically what he's doing. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shit on this one person, right? I'm going to shit on this one person, and the rest of you guys better fall in line. Because if not, you guys can all fuck off. So what are you guys going to do? How y'all want to act? No, how do y'all want to act? Act. I like that. That's better. So how do y'all want to act? Sorry. Anyway, how do you guys want to do this? Does this sound like someone who likes what he does? He seems to like demeaning people. He seems to like tearing people down who have an opinion of him. I'm not seeing a whole lot of actual love for the actual thing itself. It's almost like, ladies and gentlemen, it's just a platform for him to beg on, and that's it. And there's no value to it outside of that. I mean, you know, that's me being an asshole about the situation, but I think as mature adults we can all come to the conclusion that maybe that's just what it is. And maybe just maybe we don't have to lie to ourselves about what that is. At the end of the day, you have the right to make a suggestion to better the content that you are ingesting. At the end of the day, your time is valuable. Your money's even more valuable. But your time is very fucking valuable. And if you don't appreciate that, if you don't value that, then you can pick up and go. There are plenty of other people out there to watch. And that's whether watching shitty gameplay, you know what I'm saying? Watching detractor content, watching whatever. None of you are stuck doing any of that. If he was as committed to his audience as his audience is committed to him, he would be much better off. He wouldn't have been stuck at 168,000, or I think he's at like 180,000 on YouTube. He wouldn't have been stuck there for fucking years upon years. One of the ongoing jokes, and yet at the same time it's kind of sad too. So it's actually the great Greek tragedy, if you will, is how the fuck didn't Darkside Phil ever make it to 500,000? I'll tell you, he was never as talented as people try to give him credit for. He was never that good. If his personality was better, then yeah, he probably could have made it to 500,000. maybe 750,000. A million? But he probably could have made it to 500,000. But he didn't because he's not good enough. He's never been good enough at anything. And eventually, when the real Dark Side Phil comes out, when the real DSP, when the real Phil Burnell shows his ugly head, or rears his ugly head, I should say, everything falls apart. At the end of the day, Phil put on a persona of what he wanted people to think he was, or what he wanted people to see. It don't take long for the real person to come out. And when he did, they didn't like it. And they didn't feel a need to stick around for it if he wasn't willing to improve. And that's why he's at where he's at now. Imagine that.
Yourself. Play it the way you want to play it. That's the cool thing about modern gaming, is that it's so many adjustable things, so many variables that go into it now, right? If that's what you want to do and you want to up the challenge of the game, play it for yourself the way you want to play it and enjoy it. That's not my playthrough. That's not who I am as a content creator. It never has been. I'm not the guy who always ups the difficulty and does challenge runs or whatever. There are lots of people who do that. They feel that, I also constantly need to be monstrously challenging myself. That's fine. And by the way, I'm not shitting on that kind of gameplay. There's people out there who feel that every game is competitive. That just because they're a content creator, that they've got to get good and they've got to show you that they have skill at every game. Guess what? That's not me. That's never been me. For 12 years as a content creator, that's not been what I've been about. And it's okay if that's what you're looking for, but you're looking for it in the wrong place. There will be a time when I'll go play a difficult game, or I'll actively choose a harder difficulty. This new IP that I want to experience at the default difficulty, because that's what the game designers intended, I'm not going to be doing that. Okay? So you have to understand that. And if you don't get that, fine. But don't sit here on every single Ghost of Tsushima stream demanding I play it on hard or complaining it's too easy. Just leave. I mean it now. Like, I'm not going to sit here and have a certain group of people tell me the playthrough's bad because I'm not adhering to some crazy criteria that they have set in their mind. Some unspoken 10 commandments of game playthroughs that you must have a certain level of challenge and a certain level of whatever in order to be valid. If that's not what you're getting out of my streams, then why are you here? Instead of demanding something from me, go watch the thousands of other people who that's the kind of content they put out. I can tell you right now, go watch. There's probably a large amount of people playing this game at a harder difficulty or doing a new game plus run or whatever. You could go watch that now, dude. Really. You're free to go watch whatever you want. You're not I didn't know.
I demand for you guys to hit this vest streak each and every day, twice a day, but don't ever dare demand for me to play or up the quality of my content or my streams. You don't have a right to do so. That's so good. That's so good. That's truly sociopath type. That's truly sociopath type tendencies and behavior. Oh, that's fucking amazing. Imagine, briefly, ladies and gentlemen, imagine you living in a world where you completely absolve yourself of all responsibility, and yet you demand everything from everybody else around you. Your wife, your parents, your audience, your fans, the cult, all of that, the fanatics. You demand the world from them daily, but you feel justified that they have no right to demand anything extra from you. And when they do so, they're in the wrong, and they need to apologize to you. They need to apologize to you, and they need to tell you, they have to express to you how wrong they were for doing so. But you yourself never have to apologize for anything. Even when you are wrong, even when you admit that you're wrong, you'll wait years later to do that. Right now, at this very moment, you don't have to apologize for shit. It's I don't know. I guess I'd want to say that must be liberating, but at the same time, though, too, it's destructive. Clearly. Wow.
I don't know if you knew this. No one chained you to your chair and turned on my stream in front of you and forces you to watch it every day. Maybe you think so, but you should break out of that mentality. You can go watch somebody else play it if you want to see a harder run. I'm enjoying it at the difficulty I'm playing it at. If I feel that it does get too easy, I will up the difficulty. But I'm not going to artificially change for a few people who just want to sit here and say it's not good enough for you. Okay? You can play the game how you want if you buy the game yourself. Alright. Dollboth gifted a subscription to Super Hypercat Access. See, now here's the thing. I could have just said go fuck yourself and banned you. And been an asshole about it. But I'm trying to give you like an honest
You've been an asshole about this whole response. And which, ladies and gentlemen, it just proves my point yet again. He went out of his way to shit on this guy, right? Without just being forward about it and just calling him a dick or whatever. Because he's already been accused of that early on in this broadcast. So instead, he rather drag that shit out, right? And demean him and make him feel like the smallest person in the fucking world. And use him as the example to keep the rest of the assholes in line. To keep the rest of the peanut gallery, the rest of the piglets in check. And then has the nerve to flip it and be like, oh, I could have been a jerk. I could have just outright banned you. But I didn't. Look at how I graced you with an explanation. Wow.
On it. Okay? I hope you understand. I'm trying to be nice about it because I feel like if I do that, that's going to be more productive than me saying, well, go fuck off, eat my ass, and ban you. Okay? But of course, that's what people will say I did. They'll say every time that someone criticizes Phil, he just sits there and says, oh, you're, like that guy said earlier, oh, you're just a dunderhead. You're an idiotic moron dunderhead. And then Phil banned everyone who criticized him. That's not what happens. But that's what they say happens. Okay. So anyway, Dalboth, he also gifted a sub to Super Hypercat Axo. Thank you, Dalboth, for the support. Dangerous Dave resubscribed for 11 months. Thank you, Dangerous Dave, for the resub. I appreciate that. Damien tipped $7.77 and says, don't worry, Phil. I love watching you. Well, thank you, Damien. I appreciate that. I'm well aware that there's people who enjoy me and my content and the way that I go about things, or else I wouldn't be here. You know, certainly it hasn't been just 12 years of people crapping on me. It's just that really what happened yesterday really did get to me. Okay, and you know, I wanted to open up about that today because, you know, when you're feeling down about something, I obviously want to improve as a person. I want to improve as a content creator. And what happened yesterday actually really hurt me. Well, Dalboth now cheered again. And he says, you missed my previous cheer. I didn't miss your previous cheer. I was talking earlier. And now I'm doing shout-outs as I do every stream. What's the difference between an insult and constructive criticism? Well, an insult is basically just saying something negative, while constructive criticism is maybe saying something negative, but giving a concrete reasoning as to why you need to improve and how you can improve. Okay? That's the difference. Why is saying that playing Ghost of Tsushima...
He's been given both of those, and he's lumped them all up as the exact same thing. So, disregard all of that.
Provide a better experience for you and viewers an insult. I didn't say it was an insult. I said it was incredibly entitled. I explained to you why I'm liking the game the way I'm playing it, and all you basically said was, well, it's not good enough for me, so you should just change. You see the difference? Maybe if you actually followed through on some of these things, you would receive less criticism because you don't listen to criticism. Or no, that you don't listen to criticism. But I did listen to criticism, and I countered and let you know why I felt that I didn't need to change my entirety of my playthrough just for you. Okay? Okay. Midnight Syndicate did a 200-bit cheer. Thank you very much for the 200-bit cheer. First of all, it's the biggest cheer of the stream. Let's get you up on the leaderboard. And Midnight Syndicate says there's a big difference between saying, I think this aspect could be improved and here's how to do it, versus, or compared to, your streams suck and are boring, etc. Ignore the second type of people, Phil. They're just here to make you feel horrible. And, you know, I mean, I know that. I know you're right, but it still gets to me sometimes. Sometimes I can just brush it off. Sometimes I can ignore it. But a stream like yesterday where I actually did put effort into it. I bought multiple vests. I planned out multiple DSP trizits. I had a whole segment that I did work on for the gaming schedule and also planning improvements to the stream. Like, this was stuff I actually worked on hard with the time that I had outside of my 6 days a week full-time streaming, you know. And it still got to me. Even though I know it shouldn't have, it still got to me because I didn't get suggestions like, this is what you should have done better. Instead, it was, you suck, right? Gerard Crow cheers. As far as general improvements, I think you could stand to be more conversational, in my opinion. You have a tendency to talk at us rather than to us. It makes us feel like you're responding to what we say, but not really a conversation, if that makes sense. I hear you. And you know what, Gerard Crow? I kind of agree because it's tough for me to play a game and have a conversation. It really is. It's tough for me to continue to put out a gameplay through while I'm having a conversation with you. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with someone while playing Street Fighter, and I really tried to win the match while I was talking and answering a question, and I lost. And at the end of the match, I thought to myself, there's no way I should have lost that match. I definitely 100% could have won that, but I can't concentrate when I'm trying to do two things at once like that. You see what I mean? It's tough. Certain games, it's easier. When I'm playing Animal Crossing, right? I can have a conversation all day. What are you doing in Animal Crossing that needs your attention? Nothing. But you know, it's a thing that I constantly strive to improve and learn and get better at. I've been doing this for over 3 years now, and admittedly, when I first started, I was terrible. I've gotten better, I feel, over time, but I'm certainly not the best streamer out there. I know that, and you're right. I feel that when we're having a conversation, it's better to be more conversational and go back and forth, and you know, rather than, okay, I answered one thing, now move on to the next and dismiss the last thing or whatever. You know, I don't know. It's tough because it's like I would love to just sit here all day and talk to you guys all day. Then we never play any games. You know, we never make any progress in any games because I got to concentrate on the game.
But you're still not making progress because you're saying with Ghost of Tsushima or whatever, you're purposely playing the game at a slow pace because you really enjoy the game. So you're fucking over any other gameplay that could potentially come up, as well as any of the other ones that you're currently playing for your own amusement, essentially. Because apparently he's getting all this feedback that people don't like the pacing of the game currently, or how he's breezing through the enemies, which he's basically only playing for his ego. He's not playing it for the entertainment value, or if he is, he's only playing it for his own entertainment value. Maybe I should say, instead of that of the overall audience, the very people that his job depends on. You see how that's why the concept of this being a business is stupid, right? Because at the end of the day, it's like he only makes stuff that he likes and expects other people to like it too. When in actuality, they're like, yeah, we don't want this. Can you make something else? Well, no. I like this, so it has to be good, so why aren't you buying it? Same concept.
But I swear I'll try to get better. I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. Ninstar Rune Cheers, the people were bitching inexplicably at the blue vest back at the original 100 Streak 2. Their explanation was that it wasn't as cool as the beige. Don't give a fuck about the obvious trolls. Yeah, now here's the thing again, and I apologize if people took it the wrong way, but like, if you remember the original 100 vest streak, all right?
Oh boy,
now
we're gonna walk shit back.
Vest. One I had bought, and that was the blue vest, and admittedly I felt that one was disappointing. That same day, by complete chance, a platinum vest that someone donated showed up, okay? So that day I felt, wow, here's something we can do on the fly. The 100 vest streak, or excuse me, the initial tips goal, if we hit it, I'll show the vest that I bought for the event. And then as a special bonus, you know, if we happen to hit a double tips goal, instead of putting on the silly gunner glasses that I feel don't have any value, I'll reveal a different vest that showed up, right?
You feel that didn't have any value, yet you still try to, excuse me, using the word entice is being dishonest, but we'll go with that for now. You try to entice people to try to go for the vest and gunner glasses combo because he didn't want to wear the hat because it was making him sweat, the cowboy hat. But now he says he doesn't have any value. You see how he demeans everything? He'll hype it up while he's doing it, but later on down the line, when he has something else to replace it, or someone else to replace it, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, he'll just go ahead and completely demean it, dismiss it, out of there. Oh, I never really gave a shit about that. Oh, I never really valued it. You know what I'm saying? Like Panda. To be honest with you, he never valued her. He never really loved her. You know what I'm saying? She was merely a maid doing her work. You know what I'm saying? End of story. He never gave a rat's ass about Panda, which is kind of sad actually when you think about it in the long term. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Said, let me emulate that with the 200 vest streak, and apparently what was good 2 months ago is no longer good. You know, because people just basically shat on the idea. How dare you have a double requirement to do a double vest reveal or whatever? You know. You
mean two paywalls? Double requirement, 2 paywalls? That's basically what it was. And that for the vest celebration, theoretically, the new vest that he bought should have been unveiled off the rip. That's what should have happened. But, you know, whatever. Greed is greed.
I mean, yes, I was teasing you guys the whole time about the red vest. I mean, you guys obviously knew it existed. You saw it on camera, right? I was trying to tease you guys about it to make you get excited for it, you know? Obviously, I didn't mean to spoil the whole 2 vest thing early because I wasn't expecting to get false DMCA claims that would make me move my webcam across the room and reveal a part of my office that normally isn't on camera. The whole thing was kind of a weird thing that happened that wasn't planned because of an asshole troll. So, you know, I did my best the whole week to try to hype it up, and I guess a lot of people just didn't like that for whatever reason. I don't know, man. Darkside Johnson, to me, $2.30, and says, everyone has room for improvement, but you make a lot of people smile and laugh and forget about their own problems every day. There's always going to be assholes out there, but remember, you'll always have a core group of longtime fans that love you and have your back. I appreciate that. I actually really felt that last week when we had the false DMCA claims coming in, because I had to, you know, I had to actually consider leaving Twitch, because if they kept happening, obviously I can't stay on Twitch, right? And people, you know, said, nah, this is bullshit. We support you, man. We're going to go wherever you go. We don't even care. You know, it'll suck if you got to leave Twitch and we got a worse chat system or a different thing that we got to adjust, but we're going. That was the vibe I got, was that people were like, screw the bullshit. We're going with you wherever you go. And that made me feel great, you know? And you know what? I'll be honest here too. And a lot of people say, well, Phil, why do you bring up people who talk negatively about you sometimes? Well, because some content creators were actually quite nice about it. You know, there's 3 people in particular. There was Review Tech USA, there was The Quartering, and there was also the lawyer Nick, all of which in their own content kind of stood up for me and defended me and were like, nah, this is bullshit. You know, Phil might not be the best guy out there, but this is bullshit that these terrible things would happen to him. He didn't deserve this. He didn't do anything wrong. And I appreciated that. Because even though these people are critical of me, to say that actually made me feel good, really good too. So, you know, it was a pretty positive experience overall. It was basically getting a lot of positivity out of negativity. But yeah, it's really nice to know that 12 years later, people still have that mentality that, you know, they like me as a content creator and a person, and they're going to go with me no matter where I go. You know what I mean? Gerard Crow cheered and he said, in my opinion, the issue with the red vest is everyone knew about it. We saw it during the drama last week. You still put it behind a $200 paywall. All right. I mean, you want to say that's a criticism? Great. I understand that. Okay, I get that. But that's the vest streak is. Like, isn't the whole idea of the vest streak is that we hit a tips goal, and as a celebratory event, I put on a vest, right? Like, that's how this started. The tips goal existed before the vest. Remember? You remember that, right? Like, I know it's been a while now. It's been over 4 months. The tips goal was the thing that I always had on my streams. And then people said, well, as a reward, why don't you start putting on a vest? Because it's something funny and a meme that has happened from your retrospective stream, right? I think the problem is people are now confusing the content. The main focus of my streams is to put out fun gameplay, to be interactive, to be entertaining, and to feel that I put out something that's meaningful to you guys, whether it's an interactive conversation we have, whether it's a quality of gameplay, whether it's somewhere in between a mix, right? That's what I'm striving for.
If that's the case, then why do you need the gimmick of the vest streak then? Because, yet again, before the vest streak, ladies and gentlemen, they any tips goal that he ever put out, it was very rare that they actually hit any of those things. Very rare. So without the gimmick, he wouldn't be where he's at now. But if he strives to put out everything that he's saying that he's putting out, then why does he need the vest streak? Why does he have to say, hey, okay guys, an hour left until the vest streak's over, 30 minutes until the vest streak's over, 20 minutes until the vest streak's over, 15 minutes until the vest streak's over? Why do we even bother going through that? Let it go. Excuse me. Just let it go. And if people enjoy what you do, then guess what? They'll keep supporting you. And yet again, it goes back to the very fact that he hates the vest streak. Or he hates the vest, I should say. He wants $200 a day, or if not more, to merely exist. And if he could figure out a way to convince them to do that, he would. But he can't, because he begs all day. So if he had to basically take the knee for a gimmick, then that's what he did. End of story. He did it because he had no choice. He couldn't get them to support him in any other way. That's the reason why this exists. And it exists the way it exists. End of story. Like, there's no getting around that. There's no beating it. If the vest streak ends tomorrow, I mean, outside of them trying to start the vest streak immediately afterwards, what's he going to do? Going back to streaming and only getting $30 in tips and, maybe 3 or 4 gifted subs? Maybe another 5 or 6 people who actually renew their actual subs, and that's it? I mean, if I remember correctly, don't hold me to this, the majority of the money he gets from subs are gifted. Very few people outside of the regulars, which might be what, $350 maybe, actually renew their own subs. Other than that, the rest of it's gifted on the regular. Or semi-regular. End of story. So even his Twitch paycheck isn't jack shit outside of the generosity of other people. He has very few people who just donate to him because they legit enjoy the content. End of story. And even with the artificial inflation, I mean, it ends up coming back to bite him in the end anyway, which makes it even more funny. Oh well.
I am not a vest wearer and revealer. And I think, sadly, at some point, people got these things confused. That, well, because we supported Phil for 4 months, he should just be revealing vests and putting on vests. Like, what are you talking about? That's not the point. You know what I mean? Like, I think that the whole thing, it gets to a point where it gets out of hand and people forget what it is. You know what I mean? I didn't turn on a stream to reveal vests all day. I turned on a stream to have fun gameplay, to interact with you guys, have fun conversation. That's what I'm doing here. This is not Phil's vest stream, And I think a lot of people have turned it into that. And maybe it's time to take a step back and realize that's not what this is, So when you say you put
then stop
the
the
vest
vest
between
streak,
the two...
If that's the case, then just abolish the vest streak. Hey guys, if you really enjoy what I do and you really support me in my endeavors, then you'll continue to do so. We're going to put the vest streak on hold. Or we'll just abolish it outright. Whatever way he wants to go about it. And for the next few weeks, we're just going to go ahead and just hold the streams, the way it's supposed to be. Because I feel like the vests are too distracting. Go ahead and see if he'll do that. And if he does do it, if he's brave enough to, wait and see how quickly that flops. At the end of the day, he's one of the driving forces behind the fact that the vest streak and the vest goal overpowers his streams the way they do. He's the one who's constantly looking at how much time he has left on stream. He's the one who's constantly looking at how much money he's made in tips. That's him. If other people are feeding into his anxiety or paranoia, then so be it. But yet again, that's on him.
$100 paywall. That's exactly the same as you saying you put your cat behind $1,000 paywall.
You did.
No, I didn't.
You did put Jasper behind $1,000 paywall. You said, and I quote, to some extent, that hey guys, if we hit the, what was it, the tips goal of $1,000 and whatnot, I will unveil something upon revealing that. That's a paywall. You guys are paying to see something. You pay me $1,000 and I'm going to reveal something to you. That's a paywall. End of story. And that whole stream, that whole marathon, I think it was, what was he doing? Hey guys, remember, I got this, I have this special unveiling for you, but you guys have to hit the tips goal. We have to hit it. If not, I can't show it. You know what I'm saying? That's the point. That's the objective. And he's still trying to defend that shit, and it's clearly that's what it was. It's a paywall. And why do you even care at this point? Accept it and move on. Anybody could clearly go back and watch that stream and see that's what it was. You're not fooling anybody. No one's taking anything out of context. That's what happened.
No, I didn't. This is a way of saying thank you for all of your support. Let's celebrate and do something silly. This is not, you paid me for me to put on a vest. Why did you do that then? You missed the whole point of what I do, if that's what you did. And I mean, I'm sorry if that's what some people do. I only paid for Phil to put on a vest. Then I guess you missed the point of what I'm here for. Because I could just completely eliminate the vests from my streams at any point if I want to.
Then
and
do
I'm
it.
still going to be here streaming.
Go ahead. If you really feel like they've strayed so far off the piggy path, then go ahead and just get rid of it. Or put it on hold for a little while. Whatever. But see, you can't because you depend on the money too much. Which is, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, him killing his own narrative. He's legit killing his own narrative right now. The narrative is, what streams have been positive, the vest streak has been positive, I need to keep this going so I can get myself out of the financial rut that I'm in, and also be able to implement improvements onto my streams later on down the line. Okay, fair enough. But now he's saying that the vest streak is being misused and it's being taken out of context for what it's meant to be used for, and maybe he should abolish it. Well, maybe he should then. Then maybe he should. And then let's see what's what. If he's tired of all the controversy, all the negativity, if he feels like people are really taking advantage of him and taking for granted what he does, then abolish the vest streak, abolish the vest celebration shit, and go back to the way it was. And we all remember that because Phil told us that during his vest celebration that for the last 4 months it's been the most positive and the most beneficial than it's been in a very, very, very long time. Well, okay, then let's go back to when it was a very, very, very long time ago then. And let's see how supportive they can be of you. Let's go back to that then, if that's the case. He's kind of threatening it a little bit. Well, why don't you go ahead and follow through? Which is one of the biggest problems with Darkside Phil. You don't follow through.
You know what I mean? Like, I think it's time to take a step back and realize this is not the vest paywall session. This is the fun gameplay interactive stream with Phil session that has a silly vest he puts on if people are supportive because people have asked for that. There's a big difference there. You see? Do you understand the difference? I hope you do. Okay? Ladies Man did a 100-bit cheer. He says, I hope you're having a good day. I'm spending my day playing Fallout 4. Well, I hope you enjoy Fallout 4. A very good game outside of the fact that the frame rate was sucky on Xbox One at launch. And also, I absolutely hated the whole settlement thing. Having to build a settlement, craft at a settlement, defend a settlement. I felt was very superfluous. The whole crafting system I felt was superfluous to the game. And it was an excuse for them to say there was something new. I didn't feel it had any value. The core game I like. So I hope you enjoy Fallout 4. And thank you for the support, ladies, man. Thanks for the cheers recently. Lunaba gifted 10 subscriptions to the channel. Wow, thank you, Lunaba. Let's do a shout out here. Shout out to... Oh, hold on, the whole thing just screwed up. Josma86, Nabucco 187, Ancient George, oh my goodness, Minvrithis22. That was real hard to say. Epicon, Your Salty Gym Socks, Brisu, Misfit Knight, Mecha, and Arch Tekken, who all just received a subscription. And thank you, Lunaba, obviously, for the support of the channel. Everyone, owes you a debt of gratitude who just received a gifted sub. Rob on Wheels has tipped me $10, which is now the top tip of the day. And he says, head up, Phil. You bring me joy and something to look forward to every day. Thank you, Rob, for that. That means a lot. I hope you understand that. It does. To hear that, that means a lot to me. To know that even though there's bad days and good days, and even though there's times when I feel like I failed as a content creator because I get, a negative day like yesterday, to hear that what I do has meaning to people, it actually does concretely motivate me to come back every day, Because I might have just been defeated yesterday and be like, oh, man, forget it. What am I doing? But no. People come back and say nice things, and that makes me feel good. And I appreciate that, man. We have a problem here. The leaderboard's not fitting. What can I do? I don't think I can even abbreviate any of these names. Maybe I could do this. Hold on. Okay, it fits now. Wow. Okay, Spartan King Charity says, there's been too much positivity recently to just let a few negative people get you down. Keep at it. I just started my Resident Evil 3 playthrough, by the way. Awesome. No, and understand, Spartan King, that's part of the whole thing with me is, listen, have I been feeling down because of what happened yesterday? Yes. Am I going to let that beat me? No. I'm going to be here today. I'm going to stream. I'm going to have fun with you guys. Hopefully we're going to hang out. We're going to have a good time. And I'm not going to let...
You just said you almost did. If it wasn't for the fact that people giving you kind words and coming back to hang out with you the following day. What are you talking about? You almost did let it beat you. He said multiple times over the years that there were times that he didn't want to come back to making content or coming back to streaming. He didn't have enough motivation himself to do it. He needed other people to push him. He's kind of already quit. Oh well.
Of negativity kind of get me down to the point where now I feel like I'm beaten and stuff. I'm not going to do that, all right? I'm going to do my best to come back and have fun with you guys today. That's what I'm here for, right? To hopefully be consistent, to hopefully be, you guys told me that during the whole pandemic lockdown that I was one of the more consistent things in your lives because I was here every day. When everything else was shut down, everything else was different, I was kind of the guy who was there to still be there every day. And, I understand that there's meaning in what I do from you guys telling me such every day. And I know that me getting out of a funk and coming back from a negative day is something that has meaning, and I'm going to do my best, okay? Alexander Rossi resub for Tier 2, by the way, for 8 months. And here's the thing. Tier 2, there's a new sub emote. Tier 3, there's a new sub emote. You get special emotes for being Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs now. You get the blue vest emote if you're Tier 2, and you get the platinum vest emote if you're Tier 3. So I just wanted to throw that out there since people, again, like the vest stuff so much. We have new emotes that launched yesterday for Tier 2 and Tier 3 subs. So I hope you'll consider subbing at those levels if you're not yet. You can upgrade an existing sub, or if you're not a sub yet, hey, get a cool exclusive emote, right? Alright, so Alexander Rossi says, if you're married and are you filing jointly on your taxes, will it save you a ton of money? No. No. When I ran my taxes this year, I actually had that, had my tax guy basically do 2 scenarios. What if we file jointly and what if we file separately? And it comes out that because basically I've had issues with my finances and my taxes, it made more sense for us to file separately. Let's put it that way. Moving forward, okay, if I stay on top of my taxes and now I don't owe a ton of back taxes anymore, okay, it may make more sense for us to file jointly. But it doesn't make sense for us to file jointly if I owe so much to the government that it's going to negate any positive factor to it. You see what I'm saying? And that's kind of what happened. Is basically my tax guy is like, nah, man, you want to keep all your stuff separate for now until you get your stuff settled. You want to get everything separate. You don't want to get other stuff wrapped up. So I've been keeping everything separate on purpose, you know, for good reason. Code Man did a 100-bit cheer. He's, I heard you talking about Samurai Jack game. The game's supposed to tell the whole story of the series in video game form. Oh, is that what it is? Maybe. So there's where I maybe misunderstood. Because I was talking about this game yesterday, and I said, I actually felt... I actually thought that the game was supposed to be the end, like the end game epilogue story. I guess it's not. It's supposed to be the whole series in one game. If that's the case, then I'm actually really excited because I watched some of the show, but not all of the show, and I felt that maybe I would be not understanding, but maybe now I will, right? Okay. Dalboth cheered. He said, I meant no offense by anything I said. I'm sorry you feel that way. I enjoy being in chat. I'm trying to provide constructive criticism. All right, again, Dalboth, you have to understand the difference. Constructive criticism is, I feel the game would be better if you put it on hard, and here's why. You've done that. Then I countered and said, well, here's why I feel that wouldn't be beneficial. I'm not going to do it. You sitting here every day and saying, put it on hard, 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 is not constructive criticism anymore. Do you see the difference? The first time, that's constructive. The second time, all right, okay, fine, good enough, I understand. The 47th time is not constructive anymore. It's just annoying.
Question. So when he bashes Street Fighter week in, week out on why he loses, and he comes up with the same reasons repeatedly on why he loses, then it loses weight, it loses power, it loses relevancy every time he says it then, right? If you go by the logic that he's talking about right here, that's essentially how that would translate. If that's the case, then why does he keep doing it? It serves no purpose. He's not getting over with it. And if anything else, it's one of the things that mark him anyway. Or stains him, I should say. So then what's the point of keep doing it? It's not constructive. That's his words right here. He's defeating his own point. He's beating himself up for no reason. So why do we keep doing it?
To me, and it wears me down. Okay? A negative chitter, not chatter, chitter, did a 100-bit cheer and said, what counts as constructive criticism? Because people have asked you for years to upgrade your computer, get a new keyboard, better mic, a better cam, use a green screen, which you already have, and you refuse to do any of it. All right. Let's address this one by one. Upgrade your computer. Haven't been able to do it because I have no money. I've told you guys this a million times. Now, the problem is, you don't believe me. Someone like you say, well, you're full of shit because you just made all this money. Yeah, and all the money went to bills and is going to lawyer fees, taxes, and now back taxes. That's where the money's going. Now, you cannot believe me, and that's okay. But if you don't believe me, then your criticism is not valid anymore. Because your criticism is based on a ridiculous, over-the-top, hypothetical that somehow my money is being funneled into some weird offshore account, or it's being blown on things that are irresponsible. And that's where things get out of hand. Because when you go into the realm of speculation and the realm of conspiracy, that's not criticism anymore. That's stupid. Okay, that's the realm of stupid. I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be insulting here. Because, again, I could have just dismissed what you said and banned you and said you're an asshole. I'm trying not to do that this morning. I'm trying to be very civil and to honestly address concerns that people are bringing up. Okay? Upgrade your computer. Well, I don't have money for it. I don't have anywhere from $500 to $2,000 to buy a new computer. I can't upgrade the computer because I don't know anything about it. I'm not a tech-savvy guy anymore. I haven't upgraded a computer myself since the mid-2000s, and I'm not going to do that.
You could go online and look it up, to be honest. And if you were willing to, go online and look it up, you could find parts for reasonable prices, so you wouldn't spend as much as you think you're going to spend, depending on what he's trying to do, of course. So, yet again, what's your excuse now?
Another computer. It's going to be a new computer from the ground up, and I don't have the means to do it. I just don't. Okay? I've said this many times. Now, if you don't believe me, that's on you. That enters the realm of conspiracy. That enters the realm of nonsense and stupid. And I can't help you from not being stupid. If you are stupid, then I can't stop that. You understand that, right? But I'm telling you, I
thought you weren't going to. I thought you were trying not to insult him, but then we proceeded to calling him stupid. Okay.
I would love to have the financial flexibility right now to say I can pre-order every console once they're immediately announced. I can upgrade my computer. I can upgrade my webcam. I can get rid of this couch, which I fucking hate, and get a nice comfy chair. And I could do all these things to improve everything immediately. And I would do it right now if I could. I can't. Right now I'm in the middle of a situation where I have to pay a ton of money to a lawyer. I have to pay a ton of money for back taxes. I have to see what happens with that and then move forward. Hell, I can't even plan stuff. I can't even like think about what can I get my wife for a birthday present at this point. You know, that's the situation.
Wait, you can't plan on how you're going to get your wife a birthday gift, but yet you're trying to sell them on future plans to improve your streams. You're telling them on how the multiple ways on how you can get a new console. You can go ahead and feed them all of this, what he was doing for the last couple of days at the time that I'm recording this. Well, last week or so, actually. You can do all that nonsense, but yet you can't even figure out how you're going to get your wife a birthday gift? Or a wedding gift even, or a Christmas gift, or whatever the case may be. But you can figure out how you can get the new consoles, though. Huh, okay.
For you to sit here and tell me I'm ignoring constructive criticism because I didn't go out and buy a new computer is incredibly off base, incredibly hurtful, quite frankly, because I would love to do that stuff. I would love to get a new keyboard, a new computer, a better mic, a better camera, and a green screen set up immediately. And I can't do it. And every time you tell me that I'm stupid or I'm lazy or I'm selfish or I'm a liar or there's a conspiracy, it hurts me because I want to do that stuff for my content and I can't. It makes me feel like shit.
You should feel like shit up about me. To be honest with you, you mismanaged your money to put yourself in the situation you're in the first place. First off and foremost, when you did have the means to improve your streams, you chose not to. You chose to feed your gout and have all that shit get sent down your goddamn gullet. Yet again, you should feel like a piece of shit because at the end of the day, you fucked you. So you should feel bad. You should feel inadequate. You should feel like a fucking failure. Because you kind of are. How the fuck are you pulling 6 figures a year and you can't do anything to improve the very thing that makes you money? What sense does that make?
Constantly and say that it's because I'm lazy or I'm greedy or I'm dumb or I blow my money. It's not right anymore.
You've admitted to blowing your money. You've admitted to being lazy, thinking that everything you were doing was great and you didn't need to improve on it, so you didn't do it. You've proven that you're dumb because you didn't know what was good and what wasn't, and you just wanted to stick with what you had. So what are you talking about?
It's not, man. It's not. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people piling on me and just making shit up about me because they feel that it's okay to do because I'm a public content creator. It's not. It's not okay to just be a nasty fucking person and make shit up constantly. You know, you almost...
So it was okay to shit on PewDiePie and call him a Muppet, and say he does it to the only reason why he's at where he's at because he screams and over exaggerates and he's only taking advantage of kids and that's how he made his money. You said the same thing for Ninja. You said the same thing for Dr. Disrespect. So it's okay for you to say all those things, right? But it's not okay to shit on you. It was okay to talk about Justine and say how she was in a boardroom getting gangbanged by the executives at EA. That's why she was hosting a video game show, right? And Phil say that she's not even a real gamer or anything because she never put any gaming content online until she did, and then ended up basically becoming popular, insanely popular, more popular than he ever could be, right? It was okay to go ahead and say those type of things about her. It was okay to shit on Toby Turner because an ad that he made that Machinima accepted was put on Phil's videos. And you try to shit on Toby Turner, you try to shit on him on Twitter, you try to get him to apologize to you despite the fact that he had no say so in where the advertisement goes. And then you wanted to get him into a conversation behind the scenes where he would do you a favor or a solid, or he would try to make amends for the situation that happened, even though he owed you nothing. Even when you were sitting there bitching at him on Twitter and he was like, hey, I'll talk to somebody and I'll try to get it worked out. But he didn't even have to do that. He really didn't. He could have been like, hey, go and talk to your fucking bosses at Machinima, bitch. I did a job and I got paid for it. End of story. He didn't have to go out of his way. You know what I'm saying? Or he didn't have to make any type of concessions or arrangements on your behalf about an ad that he got paid to put on, that he got paid to do, that was promoted by Machinima. He didn't have to do any of that stuff. And then Phil was like, even after Toby Turner got it all worked out, or he did what he could, I should say. I don't know if he got it all worked out, but did what he could. Phil still demanded to speak to Toby Turner in private and by DMs, I would assume, because he wanted an apology out of him, and because he was like, you should promote my content. Because since your ad that was promoting you was all over my content, you should do the same. Toby Turner's not going to do that. No one should. This isn't eye for an eye. You know what I'm saying? He don't owe you. He doesn't owe you a goddamn thing. But Phil wants to act like this now. Okay.
The whole bankruptcy thing, because you made shit up, you know? And I'm not saying you specifically, I'm saying people like you in this mentality that, you know, that I have all this money that, and there's nowhere for it to go and I'm blowing it on stuff. You almost ruined my fucking life. You know? And you have to understand that. And if you can't understand that, you think it's okay to behave this way, again, I can't make you change. But you have to understand, that's not constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is, Phil, here's the things you could improve. And we did that yesterday during the 200 Vest celebration. I said, thank you for the feedback. That's all great information. I'd love to do that when I can, and I hope to be able to do that in the future. Now turning it and saying, well, you're just not doing it.
He's been saying that shit for years, too. If not outright dismissing it, and nothing ever changed. Nothing ever happened. Whatever.
You're not doing it, even though you have no evidence of this whatsoever, and you're just speculating like an asshole. That makes you stupid. And I can't make you not be stupid. I'm sorry. The Maniac Cop cheered. He says, I think it would be really cool to watch you play Fit Adventure on the Switch. That's great. A negative chatter now cheered again and said, why do you assume a harder is less fun? Don't you think it's fun to play a tough game a lot to the point where you get better at it and overcome the challenge? That's what's fun.
No, because he doesn't believe in struggle. He doesn't believe in struggle. He doesn't want to struggle. He looks at games as brain dead easy, and it should be as such. And anything that forces him to think or exhaust himself in any type of way, shape, or form is not worthwhile. You know what I'm saying? This is the same guy who said that this game feels like work, and I don't want to work. I'm supposed to be playing this game and having a good time. I'm supposed to be having fun. But this feels like work, and I hate work. That's what this idiot said. Just goes to show.
Sure, to some extent that's fun. To feel like you've overcome a giant obstacle or something, the odds were against you and you still persevered. I mean, that's what it's all about. The whole King of Hate moniker came from that. I've told you guys, when I say the King of Hate, it's when people tell me that I can't succeed and I can't persevere, and I still do. That's one of the main reasons where that came from, okay? But not every game has to be that. You have to understand this. Not every game has to be that. That is a very closed-minded mentality to have, that you think that only games that are of extreme, ridiculous levels of challenge are fun. That's not true, and not everyone's the same. You have to understand that. Maybe some people are like that. In your head, in a very, very narrow, closed-minded mentality, you think that only games of extreme challenge are fun. Not everyone is like you. And the sooner that you're able to step out of your own narrow-minded, tunnel vision comfort zone and understand that there are other people out there who aren't like you, you're going to enjoy life better. You're going to be able to be wiser, smarter, strong, better as a person. And I've been making content for 12 years, and my content has not always been that. So why you can't get it through your thick skull that because I'm enjoying a game and it's not ultra hard, that's not bad content? I can't. Again, there's a difference between constructive criticism and just stupidity, and I can't make you not be stupid. This is the second stupid thing you've now said. And I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just saying I can only rationally.
I'm not trying to be
myself.
insulting, but this is the second time you've said and done something stupid. Okay.
So much until it's the realm of stupid. Okay? I don't know what else to say. So there you go. Should I call him? All right. You're a dunderhead. There we go. I did it. So now I'm in line with the guy from earlier. You're a dunderhead. Oh my God. Lunabot tipped $4 and says, I'm not the first or the last to say this. Nobody's perfect. We can only try to improve, no more, no less. I agree. I agree, and I think that's an important sentiment, is that it's all about constant improvement. Okay. Cousins Ven, cheers. To my personal opinion, the vest has gotten out of control. It's taken away from gameplay and watching you play the games. It's kind of turned people off. I myself have tuned the vest out. Well, here's the thing. Again, this is why I've been saying this. I don't want the end-all and be-all of my streams to be the stupid vest. And I say it's stupid. Everyone knows it's stupid. The vest is not important. The vest was supposed to be a silly gimmick that could be a running meme, something that becomes part of my streams, but it isn't the end-all be-all of my streams. That's why when Gerard Crow earlier said, you put a $200 paywall to see
But if
the
it's
vest,
part of your stream, then it has a place on your stream then, right? So when it's put out there, is that not part of its innate space? Like he just said, it's part of his streams. It's a gimmick. Well, then guess what? That gimmick has become part of the stream. You're saying I understand what he's trying to say. That's not supposed to be the end-all be-all, but he made it as such because he needs it. If not, why don't he get rid of it? Why is he waiting till now to even acknowledge that it's getting this much attention? It's always had this much attention, to be honest. Yet again, he's the one who fostered all this. So if you don't like it, or if you don't like where it's going, then end it. Then end it. If it's really such a distraction, if it's really such a problem, and if it's feeding into this negativity, then end it. Put it on the back burner for a while. If you and your audience need peace of mind and want it to go back to, just more failure of begging, to be honest with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I remember, I'm sure most of you guys remember, when he used to stream and only get like $30 or $40 a day. We all remember that. He can go back to that if he wants. If he thinks he doesn't need a gimmick and he can get over on his own doing everything authentic, right? Then go ahead and do so. He must not have a lot of faith in himself if he's not willing to do it. Just something to think about.
What are you talking about? There's no paywall. You're supposed to be supporting the content of the streams. You like me as a person. You like the content I put out. I'm contributing to that goal. Oh, we just so happened to raise $200 today. I'll put on a vest as a silly thank you. It's not supposed to be, you're making me pay $200 to see a vest. If that's the case, you're doing it wrong. You've misconstrued the purpose of my streams, and you need to take a step back and reassess the reason you're here. That is ludicrous. Why do you think, in reality, why do you think I don't say, oh, guys, $200, you'll see a red vest today? Why didn't I do that? Because that's exactly what would happen then. People would say, you put a $200 paywall for the red vest. No, I didn't. And no, I didn't. The stream would have happened if there was a tips goal raised or not. The vest is superfluous to all of that. But people twist it and contort it and corrupt it to be something
If
it's
that's
not.
the case, then why is the vest goal $100 then? Why isn't the vest goal just $20? If it doesn't really mean anything, right? If it doesn't really serve any real purpose, then why don't he just come on stream and put the vest on no matter what? He's doing it for a reason, obviously. And the value is set up to a certain degree for a reason, right? Because, let's be honest, before the vet streak, there used to be a tip goal of $100 a stream, $200 a stream. It's kind of fluctuated. And he very rarely hit those. He may have had a week, maybe two, where they hit it consistently. And then it dropped off as it usually does. If it doesn't mean anything, then get rid of it. Then put it, not even get rid of it. Let's not be so harsh. Put it away. As all children eventually need to do. Put your toys away then, if that's the case.
Narrative. And their narrative is, Phil's greedy, Phil's low effort, Phil doesn't care, blah, blah, blah. I could just sit here for hours telling you all the shit that people say about me every day. That's not true, because it's their narrative to spin something in a negative way so they can get something out of it outside of it just being a fun gameplay stream, you know? And I think that's the thing. I can't help you if that is your mentality. If you think that there's a $200 paywall to see a vest, I can't change that mentality for you. That's your head. That's your way of thinking. And that's a really fucked up way of thinking. That it's not that people are supportive of Phil and his content. It's that people pay $200 to see a vest. That's on you. That's not on me. I didn't create that. The vest wasn't even my idea. Right? I was just doing, tips goals to help with the streams and to help with my finances and to help with everything going on. And people came up with the vest idea, not me. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. That you've got to figure this out for yourself. If that's the mentality you have, reassess why you're here. Okay? Ladies Man Cheers says, you don't have to thank me. I'm just helping a great streamer who needs help. Well, thank you very much, ladies, man. I do have to thank you. Because it would be incredibly ungrateful and incredibly, I forget the word, entitled of me to think that just because I'm a content creator that I deserve anything. The truth of the matter is, I don't feel like I deserve anything at all. I used to.
Then why have videos been made with you telling YouTube, hey, I need you guys to step up if you guys want me to keep uploading content here. Hey, you guys on the stream, if you guys want to keep the streams going and you guys want to, enjoy the free content that I'm giving you, I need you guys to step up. You guys really need to tip me. Or you guys need to go to my Teespring. Or you need to go to my PayPal. Does that not sound entitled? Oh, so it wasn't entitled, so it was what? I needed support then, but it's not entitled now. You weren't he didn't go as far as putting it behind a paywall because he was being paid off YouTube anyway, off ad revenue. But for the people who were on YouTube, for example, at that time, hey, you guys need to step up and give me money on my Patreon, or you need to come to my streams and donate. Even if you can't stay on the stream, you should at least donate or tip, or you could at least buy something off my Teespring. You guys need to kind of do something, because I can't ask people on Twitch, for example, or at least in this particular example, I can't ask people on Twitch to step up anymore. They've been incredibly supportive, but you guys on YouTube are taking this for granted. And I really need your help. Anybody remember that? Anybody?
YouTube, where I thought I was hot shit. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel I'm just a guy who's here every day to hang out with you guys. And the fact that people like that and contribute blows my mind. I'm eternally grateful for that. Lunaba gifted a sub to Ice Cream King. Congrats, Ice Cream King. And thank you, Lunaba, for the support. Appreciate that. Not me tipping myself. Here we go again. Tipped $1.30 and says Phil's a cool dude. The other crazy conspiracy theory that I somehow tip myself. Yes. I'm somehow found a way to tip myself during a live stream, apparently. That's the other nice conspiracy theory I like. Marita Lucina tipped $6 and is doing a public apology about something that I didn't even know happened. They said, I apologize to chat for saying Jose should go back to Mexico. I was insulting his connection and how he destroys the lobbies during the Street Fighter streams. I apologize. Oh, he basically said something about Necro too. Basically, he said racist stuff.
Look at where he got it from. I'm not surprised, Phil.
For that. So, Marita Lucina is apologizing for racist stuff that they said last night during the Street Fighter stream. I wasn't even aware that they said racist stuff. I was busy, playing the game. but I did hear there were some rumblings in the chat about someone saying some racist stuff, and then a mod had to come in.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't even hear anything about that. You didn't know anything about it. Now all of a sudden, well, I did hear rumblings in the chat about someone might have been doing some racist shit. So either you heard it or you didn't. You either heard it or you didn't. You should have just stuck with the original narrative. Oh, I don't know anything about that, man. I was too busy playing the games. That's what he was saying. And then all of a sudden, oh, well, there was rumbling in the chat about some type of racist thing, but I don't know the details. Jesus Christ.
You know, a mod had to come in and do something about it. Okay? So, I don't know. I honestly don't even know how to react because obviously I didn't even catch wind that it happened. I appreciate Marita Lucina. I appreciate you not only supporting the stream but also publicly apologizing. If you wanted me to review the situation, I would, but I don't know anything about it. You have to email me, okay? Thank you for the tip. I hope if anyone was offended by what Marita Lucina said yesterday, that they will accept that apology, because it seems wholehearted to me. A negative chatter again did a 100-bit cheer and said, I never said anything about an offshore account, but 200 streaks is $20,000. You can't get a $50 webcam with that? All right, here we go again. So now I think we've come full circle, because at this point, all right, now, at this point, I think we see the truth of the matter here, okay? Here's the truth of the matter. Phil made money with tips. He can't spend it to get a new webcam. Even though I've explained day by day, moment by moment, what's going on with me, where the money needs to go, the importance of where it's going, what it's paying. That's not good enough for some people because they will always have this crazy conspiracy theory in their fucking head. About
what's crazy about me. Did you make $20,000? Yes or no? Did you make 20K? Yes or no? And even if he only made half of that, that's still more than enough to get a keyboard and fucking wireless mouse, dude. The same superfluous bullshit that he keeps blaming or that he keeps bitching about each and every fucking stream, which according to his logic, it loses all meaning after a while. So why the fuck does he keep bitching about it? Because he ain't got nothing else to bitch about.
So to this guy, all right, it doesn't matter how much I explain or justify, he will always move the goalpost. So when that happens, when you get someone to get to this level of silly, that's when you stop entertaining the silly. Okay? Because by the way, I'm sure a $50 webcam, first of all, would be an upgrade to the webcam I use now. Yes, $50, right?
You can find some great stuff for an affordable price, Phil. And since you broke, $50 would be considered an affordable price. But since, yet again, ladies and gentlemen, you already see it, since we put a value on everything, and, you know, only a good camera must cost hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, right? And even though the camera that he's kind of hinting at, or he's been hinting at, he doesn't even need. He really don't. Like, after a while, you're just kind of buying shit just to buy shit. But whatever. So we're gonna sit there and bash a $50 camera, which would more than likely help him, even though he would have to go into the settings and get that worked out, which people said that he should do that with the webcam he has now, but he won't do it because he doesn't know what he's doing. He's already told us that too. The dollar amount doesn't mean anything. In actuality, $50, it's just an example. You know what I'm saying? Phil is just legitimately looking for something to pick at. And this is how he's chosen to go about it. Whether it's 50, whether it's 100, whether it's 300. Either which way. You've made so much money that it's not impossible for you to not be able to obtain that. It doesn't make any sense. And that's where the problem lies. But we're going to go ahead and skip all that, and he's just going to focus on this $50 so I can bash you with this. You know what I'm saying? So I can pull the pignosis on you with this, and everybody else will forget your point.
The stream yesterday, the 200 vest celebration, I was talking with multiple people about this, and Mr. Papavera actually said probably the best course of action would be don't even get a webcam, but to buy an actual digital camera that has a nice big lens, and you can live stream from the camera and have the camera be my webcam, because now you can actually do that with certain cameras. So now we're talking, you know, in the price range of hundreds of dollars or more. You know, I used to buy digital cameras that were $300-400. That's what I used to record with on YouTube. That's what I would look to do. You see? So, but anyway, this is just ludicrous at this point. Yet, first of all, here's what I really like about this. 200 streaks is $20,000. No, it's not. 200 streaks means that we hit a tips goal 200 times. You actually have no idea or have no concept of what I raised. All you can do is guess. You don't know how much of that was a processing fee with PayPal. You don't know behind the scenes.
So we're going to push the goalpost back, basically. The same thing that he's accusing that guy for, he's going to do himself. Let's hear it, though. It should be entertaining.
Charged back and how much, I actually kept or pocketed. By the way, one thing that a lot of people just want to ignore, okay? I used to have a tips goal before we ever did the vest streak. You remember that, right? And typically I would raise a certain amount of funds on every stream. Maybe we didn't hit the goal every time, but I raised, funds every stream via tips, right? I always did. Has there been an increase since we've been doing the vest streak? Absolutely. A good increase. And that's what I'm telling you guys. Like, this really has put me back on my feet to the point now where I was able to pay off all the back taxes I owed the state are paid off now, which is great because that was a big looming thing over my head is how am I going to pay off all those back taxes for the state of Washington? And I actually got that done. And now I'm able to now get caught up and pay my taxes like I'm supposed to be doing every month with the feds and everything. But 200 streams is $20,000. Well, no, it's not. 200 streams is whatever I'm making in excess of what I used to raise on tips. Because you got to understand that I used to barely get by with what I was making on stream.
No. Let's not do that. I'm sure you guys get what he's doing. He's legit gonna try to go this way. Okay. This guy, this fucking idiot, is gonna sit there and say, I had a tip goal before the vest streak, which he did. Whatever the vest streak brings in is just extra on top of what I would have normally brought in anyway. But yet again, ladies and gentlemen, he used to have whole streaming days where he might have only made $50. The whole day, morning and the night stream. In tips, I mean. He's only made like $50. So the extra 150 he's making now, that's just extra. That's a bonus. That's what that is. Don't worry about this $20,000 thing. This is what I would have made anyway, plus a little bit extra. That's how we're trying to spin this. Are you fucking serious? And most of you guys may remember, there were chill streams of PUBG, Call of Duty, Street Fighter, Minecraft, where he bitched and complained about how the tips have been low, how if you guys don't tip him, he won't be able to take care of these overdrafts, he won't be able to pay bills, he won't be able to buy groceries, and now we're gonna go say, oh no, the vest goal doesn't actually really mean too much. It's just money that I was already gonna get anyway, plus just a little bit extra. It's not enough. It's not actually 20 grand. Like, you see how I told you guys he already has this shit spent in his head? And now he accused one guy of pushing the goalpost back, and he's literally pushing the whole goddamn thing back. He's literally trying to throw that shit another 100 yards out. We're just going to go ahead and have ourselves a whole nother field at this point. This is ridiculous.
I was making minimum payments and everything, of course that was the bankruptcy and everything, but you have to understand that, like, this is not Phil raised $20,000 in excess of what he always made. That's not true. That's not true at all. What it is yes, there is some excess, but it's not. I love this number people come up with. It's insanity. $20,000? Like, it's such a ridiculous thing to say. To think that you can understand exactly how much money someone's raised, exactly where the money's going, and for you to be so entitled to think that you can actually demand something of that as well. Like, I've only told you a million times what's actually going on with me, but no one wants to believe it. I take that back. I'm generalizing in a negative way. Certain people don't want to believe it because, again, they choose.
I don't know why you would want to act like anything's different.
Choose to push their own narrative, right? So somehow, I make, by some miracle, the last few months, I make a lot more money than I usually would because of this vest streak. That immediately means that every dollar is in excess of what I used to make, and I've raised $20,000 That's something that you know what I mean? This is so silly. I just don't understand it, you know? But you know what? I'm trying to be nice today. Normally I would just dismiss this nonsense, you know? But at this point, this guy's ludicrous now. It is. It's ludicrous to the point where I'm just not going to entertain this guy anymore. Okay? Well, Marita Lucina tipped another $5 to the moderators at that time last night. Would not give them a chance to defend themselves. Old boy Dragon Quest fan led the witch hunt. I'm asking to be unbanned. I love some of your people in your stream chat, but a lot of the others are oversensitive. I made fun of Jose and Necro. Well, how is that racist? Well, again, Marita Lucina, I don't even know what happened. I would have to review the situation behind the scenes. This is not something that I feel we should be talking about publicly, considering it's not going to get you unbanned. I'm not going to drop everything I'm doing now. So, you know, check it. Email me or email Ahmad or whatever. You know, we'll talk about it behind the scenes. Thank you for the tip. Cousins been cheered. He says, a legit criticism people have asked you a lot about is to cut down your pre-stream, even if it's just a little bit. Well, here's the thing. The pre-stream today is me talking to you guys. Like, this whole pre-stream has been me opening up about how I felt about yesterday, and now I'm giving you shout-outs for the last 45 minutes for your contributions. So how exactly could I cut that down? Should I just not say anything, hold in my feelings, and feel like shit all day, and then not interact and give you shout-outs for your contributions? Because right now,
I thought he said that that he can accept criticism. It seems kind of demeaning if this is what acceptance is, just to be honest. Just saying, Jesus Christ. I can see why people skip these pre-streams, man. These pre-streams are complete and total fuckery. You have to understand that. That shit is complete and total fuckery. God bless Snort and everybody else who does what they do. Because, yikes. I can see why Tevin doesn't want to watch these things anymore. Well, that and he's busy doing shit, but I can understand why he doesn't watch these anymore. Absolute fuckery. It's absolute fuckery.
Game, we would have made zero progress. This is what I mean. This is what actually I was talking about earlier on the pre-stream, is I can't play a game like this and then have important, thought-out answers to things you guys are saying. I can't. It's one or the other. So yeah, you're going to cheer and say something silly and I do a silly response during the playthrough. That's fine. But if you're going to these are involved questions. These are detailed things, important things. I can't be playing the game when I'm answering these, you know? So, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. You can't have it both ways. It's either I sit here and I play a game and there's no pre-stream, and then you're not going to get conversations. You're not going to get these kind of things that we're talking about today. Or we have this and you have to put up with the pre-stream. It's like one or the other. Like, I don't know what else to tell you, man. Cousins Ven, you're one of the people who literally complains about the pre-stream every day. You know, I get that. You don't like it. But why were so many people cheering, contributing, and asking me questions then if it wasn't important? Wouldn't people just say, all right, we don't want the pre-stream to happen, therefore no one contribute on the pre-stream, wait till Phil starts playing the game? I'm lost here. I don't create the link to the pre-stream. You guys do. I stopped the advertisement. If you didn't notice, I've completely cut out the advertisement on my pre-streams. That used to be the thing everyone complained about. Phil's pre-streams are too long because he advertises. So I cut them out. It didn't shorten the pre-streams, if you haven't noticed. If anything,
advertising means begging. Because basically it was like, I don't remember word for word now. But basically he used to be like, all right, guys, thank you very much for coming to my stream and whatnot. And to keep all this going and whatnot, we rely on contributions. You can cheer, sub, or tip. You can buy something from my Teespring and whatnot, where he would go into a spiel about that. You could donate to his Patreon, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. And he'd tell you about all the perks and everything. And then the benefits of tipping him on stream, getting a shout out, cheering, getting a shout out, or subbing or gifting subs. Like that whole segment used to be, I don't know, like 10, 15 minutes, I guess. He might stretch it out a little more or a little less or whatever. But it was the same shit every fucking day. Every day. To the point where people were like, just record it and then just insert it in. So you don't have to keep saying it. Oh, I don't want to do that. It seems less authentic. What? He said it. He used to say it the exact same way every day. Every day. like as if he was writing his own name or something. That, I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he did that. You can go back and watch old pre-streams. Same shit every single time. That was wild. Absolutely wild. And unnecessary. Yet again, he could have pre-recorded that. Anybody who was on your stream the day before knows that. He used to do that shit for years.
Longer. The conversation goes on and on and on. I'm not creating the conversation, you are. But somehow I'm in the wrong here. I don't get it, man. I just don't get it. Albert Aponte to me $3.30 and says, much love for you and your family. Thank you, Alfred. Much appreciated. Nice thing to say. Okay, continuing on, because there's still many more shout-outs. That's what I mean. The pre-stream's too long. Well, I still have shout-outs to do. I didn't do that. What do you want me to do? Here we go. Oh, my God. Now, here's the hilarious part. And this is where I really know that I'm doing the right thing by cutting this guy off. Okay? A negative chatter cheered and said, if you've been making content for 10 years, why do you need constructive feedback? That's where I end it. This is where I say, I really tried. I really tried to be, like, fair. And that's where I say, that's the end of this, and I ban him. Alright? There's no point in continuing. Because, apparently, because I've been doing this for 10 years, I don't need any constructive feedback from anyone. That's the end of it. That's literally what he's telling me, is no matter what I do, it will never be good enough, because I should be omnipotent, and I should know what's right to do in every situation. So, that's where I say bye-bye, and I tap out, and that's the end of that nonsense. You see? But again, all that stuff that I said, and I tried to honestly answer, will be like, oh, see, Phil failed to answer legitimately. Look at these terrible answers and blah, blah, blah. Because these people have an agenda. The whole agenda was, Phil's never good enough because he should be smart and he should know everything because he's been doing this for 10 years. So he should have just said that to begin with instead of asking me 10 questions that he wasn't going to accept the valid answers to anyway. That's right, omniscient, not omnipotent, omniscient, Ice Cream King. He thinks that I should be flawless and omniscient because I've been doing this for 10 years. It's hilarious. Big Papa Phil took me $1.30. He says, I think that the Vest celebration attracted more trolls and more trollish behavior than otherwise because it was a celebration day. Your Street Fighter stream was incredibly positive, and that was your fan. Well, I don't know. Like, Big Papa Phil, here's the thing. There were a lot of trolls on the stream, and I know that. But there were a lot of regulars as well who were just being fucking nasty to me, you know? And that's really what gets me worse. It's one thing. It was, okay, this is a nobody. Look, it's a burner account. They came in here to shit on me. Then I see stream regulars just sitting there and joining in the crapping, and that's when I really feel bad. That's, I think, what irked me the most, is people here who have been here for months and months, and they're just going to sit here and complain. You know, that's what gets to me the worst, okay? Lunaba gifted a sub to Bernie Lomax. Thank you, Bernie, or congrats, Bernie Lomax, and thank you, Lunaba, for the support. Marita Lucina tipped again and said, what's your email? darksidefil@hotmail.com. Always has been. Never change. Okay. We're up to $53 in tips now. Let's see here. Not me again to me $1.30 and says people are being ignorant if they think $20,000 means immediate extendable income. If someone has a negative $100 and they make $20, it doesn't mean it means you have negative $80. Shame on Phil for being fiscally responsible. And that's the truth. I'm in the hole a ton of money. A ton of money. And when I'm making this money, it's like, oh wow, now I can actually.
And how is he still successful? Like, let's go with that logic for a minute. So he is in the hole a ton of money. So him making six figures a year, I should say. Sorry. So him making six figures a year means what exactly? If he is, I don't know, over 6K in the fucking hole, or over 6 figures in the goddamn hole, and it's gonna be even more depending on how this mid-first bank thing goes. How is he successful again? How is it whatever he makes a year is irrelevant when he owes pretty much that in general debt, or even half that? If you want to look at it from a certain angle, he owes at least half of what he makes each and every year just to debt. and fees and in taxes and in whatever. So how's he successful again? How does that work? What you make and what you have are two separate things. What does he have? Nothing. Legit, he has nothing. And depending on how mid-first decides to play it, depending and whatnot, it could get a whole lot worse for him. The way he keeps fucking around and lying about these taxes, God knows how he's actually handling those taxes, that's a problem in itself as well. But the point being is, out of $20K, you couldn't buy a $400 or $500 laptop. You couldn't buy a $20 mouse and keyboard. Wireless mouse and keyboard, I'm sorry. You couldn't get small things like that. If you want to say, oh, him getting a new tower is going to cost him like $3,000 and he doesn't have that. All right, then. We can give him that. But what about the new laptop that he bitches about every day? What about the wireless keyboard and mouse that he bitches about every day? Why can't we do those things? And that's supposed to be reasonable? It's supposed to be reasonable that he's bitching that he can't afford a $20 keyboard and mouse? Or a $50 webcam? That isn't nearly as outdated as the one that he has currently? Just throwing it out there.
I'm supposed to be paying, or, oh, I can pay down what I owe. See what I mean? That's it. People actually think, oh, Phil raised $100 today on stream. That's $100 that now he can go blow on whatever, he can go blow on frivolous shit. I mean, yeah, I could, and I'd be a complete moron, because all that stuff looming behind me in the background ain't going away. I still gotta pay my lawyer by the end of this month. I still gotta make back tax payments. I still gotta do all this stuff. That's what I mean. I raised all the money. It's like, it's putting me in a better position that long term, I can now improve my streams. Yes, long term, if we can keep this momentum going, this positivity, if the vestry continues, long term, I'll probably be able to afford new equipment for my business. I'll be able to get a new webcam. I'll be able to get a new computer. I'll be able to improve the green screen situation, all this. Long term. Short term, I've explained to you 400 times, the tax thing is the next thing, right? I've only said this a bunch of times, but people don't want to hear that. They want to believe crazy shit. They want to think that Phil's this guy who goes off and just blowing his money left and right on nonsense. Is like, it couldn't be further from the truth, and it's very hurtful that people make that shit up and say it and still pass it off as fact, because there's no evidence of any of it, because it's not true. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired of people always saying this shit about me, because I'm stressed. I get disheartened. People say I'm lazy. I'm like, how can you say I'm lazy? I'm here 6 days a week full time. I don't even have enough time to spend with my wife, but I'm lazy somehow. It fucks with me. It fucks with my head, man. It makes me feel like shit.
I thought we were thick-skinned. I thought these were a bunch of people online. These are a bunch of people online he don't know, that are faceless. Even the people who give him money, he really don't know. And this shit hurts him. This shit bothers him. But wait a second. I thought he said he doesn't pay attention to detractor content. He doesn't give a fuck about what detractors say about him. And everything they say is useless and just bullshit lies and anything. And why would he waste any of his time doing it? Oh, that's right. He confirmed that he's on Kiwi Farms. He confirms that he's read tweets from people on detractor Twitter. Yeah, I forgot about that. My bad. So, we don't pay attention to detractor content. That's a lie. We are thick-skinned. We're thick-skinned, and we don't worry about what people say. We're all about trying to have a positive stream and have a good time. That's bullshit. Let's check that. Also, that I'm doing the best that I can at the capacity that I'm working now, but I will get better. I just need more time and I need more support. Well, how much time and support is he going to need? He's been saying that shit for years. How many more years does he need? False promises that he'll never come through on. Check.
RPG Fan Charity says, I don't know about the $200 goal, but we're about to hit the 2-hour pre-stream goal. Yeah, we are. And it's not me, it's because I'm doing shout-outs. Lunabot gifted us up to I Am Razor. Congrats to I Am Razor. Thank you, Lunabot, again for the support. Ninstar Rune Charity says, Regis Philbin just died. Did he really? Well, if that's the case, that's sad. Rest in peace, Reg. He was a very popular TV host for a very long time there. I saw, back when what was it, the Today Show or whatever? I can't remember. No, it was something with Regis and Kathy Lee, right? It was a very popular show. I saw it a few times. I thought it was a fun show. But, that was more for adults, and that was a time when I was a kid, so I didn't really watch it or nothing. But, well, if that's true, rest in peace. All right. Rest in peace. Let's now do quick shout-outs. I got to pee, and then we're going to get started, because we're so backlogged now. I mean, 20 minutes past noon, because so many people, contributed and wanted shout-outs. But I'll get yelled at that the pre-stream's too long. Cousins Venture says, I love to know how I complain about pre-stream length daily when I cheer you all the time during pre-stream. Holy shit, dude. Huh? Now I'm really confused. Anyway, shout out to the top cheers of the week. Awesomeness Kaboom is in 10th place. Freddie B. Cardi's in 9th. Mr. Papavera is in 8th. Dollbots in 7th. Noah Taylor's in 6th. Atlas Telemann is in 5th. Timbo Slice is in 4th. RPG Fan is in 3rd. Crabcock's in 2nd. And Ladies Man is in 1st. Thank you to those who gifted subscriptions this week, including Melody Zelda, Golden Nobles, Hunting All Games, Ultimate Cloud 7, Rob on Wheels, and Ring Dude, who all gifted a single subscription. Ryan gifted 2 subscriptions. Lunabug gifted 17 subscriptions so far. Thank you. Dollbot gifted 17 subscriptions. Thank you. And Only Iced Coffee gave a measly 26 subscriptions. Measly. Of course, I'm joking. It's not measly at all. It's very significant. And I thank you for that, Only Iced Coffee. All right. Very brief. I'm just going to run and pee. And I'll be right back with Ghost of Tsushima. All right.
Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. I got another one of those to go through? Oh, no. Oh, no. Alright, it is what it is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is the daily madness that goes on a pre-stream, to be honest with you. You should be so glad that a lot of that shit does not make it into a SnortBucks video or anybody else's, because Jesus Christ, it's useless. Most of it anyway. A lot of it's just hypocrisy. And that goes back to something that I had said also. That he should feel so fortunate that SnortBucks, Mighty D, David Davison, Volt Boy, people like that, who Memology 101 to an extent, don't sit there and cut everything that he says. Because a lot of it makes it worse. It makes a lot of the stuff that he says so much worse. He is very lucky that they let some of that shit go where it just ends up on the editor room floor. They are very lucky, or he's very lucky, I should say, that they're willing to do that. But whatever, he doesn't appreciate shit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, give me a second to straighten all this up, and then we'll reconvene for final thoughts, and I will let you guys go. Yikes! Oh. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, so let's go ahead and close up. So, there was a lot of just contradicting himself, to be honest with you, in just multiple ways. Just multiple ways. The thick skin thing was definitely an easy pull. A very easy pull. His hypocrisy on actually making $20,000. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. He's either choose that hill to die on. Good luck with that. Him here's the thing. In reality, you got your 20K or whatever fucking imaginary number that he wants to put up there. You got it. What the fuck are you bitching about? You know what I'm saying? If anything else, if you're a DSP supporter and you're listening to this, you're thinking this should sow some doubt. That's what this should do. It should sow doubt. You should feel a certain type of way listening to this bullshit. Because that's exactly what it is. It's bullshit. And it sounds off. It sounds very fucking off. He should be worried or he should have been worried, I should say, with this nonsense. It was absolute stupidity. And then, oh, I'm trying to be reasonable. I'm trying to be nice today. He struggled. He struggled not to shit on some of those guys, which he ended up shitting on most of them anyway. But he struggled. Instead of outright dismissing them, calling them names, and then shuffling them off for, ban world, he tried to demean them instead, which only showed exactly how malicious this piece of shit is. It shows exactly what he is. So the very shit that people like myself call him out for, he displayed it right here. He couldn't even try to fake it. Couldn't even try. He made himself look so much worse. Fucking idiot. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, he's always going to push the goalpost back. You're never going to get it. Well, I wouldn't say never, because obviously never is a fucking long time. More than likely, he's going to, as long as he can keep bleeding them for this, he will. He will. Unless someone buys him a custom PC and all the peripherals that come with it, or he gets a really, 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 really big donation behind the scenes, off stream, given to him directly to do it, he's more than likely not going to do it. He can't be trusted. He's not an honest person. We all know this. This is just the reality. I don't have enough faith in him with anything. I wouldn't trust him with a red cent. Because he lies about everything. Legit. He lies about everything. And when he does tell the truth, it pisses him off even more because he ain't fucked over his own narrative. Not even usually, the truth is always going to be in sharp contrast to what the lie was. And he's been saying the lie so much longer. And then when it gets called out to be a lie, I never said that. No, you misconstrued what I said. No, you're just this brain dead idiot that's trying to push your own narrative. You said that though. That can be proven. Oh, it's taken out of context. It's just more and more of the bullshit. It's legit like watching him play Street Fighter in real life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, his lies are the opponent in Street Fighter. And as quickly as he's willing to beef them up, he's also quickly to dismiss them too and come up with all the reasons on why he loses. And that's just what he is. And that's why he hates the fact that no one will ever side with him, or a significant group of people won't side with him. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows nobody trusts him. That's why he gets mad at detractors so much. He says that we're useless, we're all brain dead idiots, we all have no lives and whatever, but the majority of what he says is trying to appeal to detractors. The trolls, the haters, and critics. He'll literally cut down somebody that's on his side to try to get the favor of a detractor if he can. Because he knows who has real, I guess you could say, power and influence. At least influence. You can see at least the influence at the very least. He knows who has the influence and who don't. And he knows nobody in his audience really do. They can come over here and try to troll comments and do all the shit that they want, but that's not getting them nowhere. At the end of the day, that's not going to change my opinion. If I ever get the chance to see it. You know what I'm saying? I can't remember the last time I've gone back deep into any video and looked at the comment section. And even if they do leave a comment that I happen to see, more often than not, they're going to sit there and kill their own narrative within the damn thing. Just like Phil do. So I'll definitely take the input in. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Because I at least can do that. But Jesus Christ, if you have the same type of Phil type isms in your shit too. So getting into a conversation with you was a waste of both of our time at that point. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, go ahead and scurry back off to your king of snorts and shit, and good luck to you. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? If you were really out there frontlining for him, you'd go over there to Kiwi Farms and try to straighten shit out. Don't do that, because you're just going to fuck yourself over. Let me tell you that now. You'd go on Detractor Twitter and try to pull that shit. Don't do that. You're just going to embarrass yourself over there. Don't bother with that. You're wasting your time. You're legit wasting your time. He's bred you people to be a waste of time. At the end of the day, you want to go over there and stay in your little hug box with him, then go ahead and do so. But don't go out here and put yourself into a position where you boys end up getting doxxed, or you boys getting exposed and become another laughingstock and shit. There's fucking an entire thread of people like you over there on Kiwi Farms. It shouldn't be that big. And at least some of those people were over there as collateral damage for some dumb shit Phil did. Don't put yourself in a bad spot for that idiot. Because he don't give a fuck about you, and he's already looking to replace most of you anyway. And at the end of the day, beyond all the dumb shit that you guys heard here, Phil values detractors over his own fan base. At the end of the day. And you guys have all seen glimpses of that over the years, to say the very least. He can't win. He's already given up in a lot of ways. Now he's fighting people in his own fan base. He'll try to twist that into, oh, they're just trolls too. But he knows most of those people are legitimate fans and been around for a long time. He can't win. And this is what happens when you poison your own, I guess, pond, if you will. It's like a pond. It's not like it's not a lake or anything anymore. You know what I'm saying? The majority of them have dried up. This is what happens when you poison your own water. This is when you shit in your own nest. He's done it to himself. At the end of the day, he's not going to win this. No one is ever going to take him seriously. No one's ever going to believe in him. He can barely believe in himself. He needs other people to reinforce his existence and what he does. He admitted that in here too. Yikes. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening in. I very much appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys for the next one. Jesus Christ, there's only one more left, so we're almost out of the woods. We're almost out of the woods. But Gautopian Desert, actually. No, we'll say the forest of Gautopia. We're almost out. Okay? We're almost out. Snort in the Woods. It would be the name of this if this was a movie. We're almost out. We're almost out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening, and I very much appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys for the next one of these. Hopefully sooner than later. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. For Hard Snort's Gin and Tonic, as well as the Pseudo Snort Report, I've been your host, /anchor GTG, and I'm signing off. Take care of yourselves, guys. Take care of yourselves. End the broadcast. Oh my god. Oh my god, the gout!